agent. Draft is 3 weeks away. We will also catch up with Casey Jacobsen. Looking forward to him, and Mike Adras. So a busy show today as we're coming to you from the studios of ESPN Radio 620. You can also hear us on 98.7 HD-2. That's on FM, the Arizona Sports app, and we are on YouTube.
Been 134 games, they said, with the number one team leading by 19 points one time to ever lose a basketball game.
It's 137-1 now.
It's amazing that it just that stat that UConn came back to resolve. They couldn't hit the water from the boat from 3-point land. A lot of layups, a lot of rebounding. But to me, watching that game that end, it was a lot about the turnovers that UConn took advantage of. All of a sudden, you saw Duke get sloppy.
They got tight.
They got sloppy. And that play at the end of the game, I got to tell you what, guys, one of the greatest endings I've ever seen. And, you can't fault Boozer to a point when you go, he catches it, and he just, they knew it was coming. They both knew it was coming. They watched it. They just double teamed, took a shot. They let those two guys go behind them. I mean, they're wide open. I mean, it's like you're back, there's a quarterback, you drop back to pass. Oh, I got two guys wide open. All of a sudden, that defensive end steps up and knocks the pass down. And to get that ball, and Mullins, who's over as far as threes are concerned, they gave it back to him for the shot.
Manuch, here's my theory on that, and I hope that John Shire, the coach at Duke, told his team, after you inbound it, hang on to the ball. Because then they got to foul you.
Let them foul you.
Let them foul you. And they were all over him, and they most likely would have fouled, and then it would have been game over in Duke. But look, you're dealing with, and we talk about it all the time, 18 to 22, 23-year-olds.
I was just going to say that.
Yep. And so, everybody calls them kids, but they're young men. And so they make mistakes. And that was a cardinal mistake.
What was interesting is throughout the game, UConn couldn't make a three.
No,
they were 1 for 18, 1 for 19. I mean, they really struggled. And here they win the game on a three. They had a couple clutch ones there, but I was watching it in a bar. Shocker.
Yes, shocking.
And, it is so fun to watch sports in a bar when everyone is just either you had money on the game or you didn't. It was just such a great basketball game for Duke to be up 44-29 at half. And then when that shot went down, the entire place erupted. And you're just like, holy, you know what?
Yep.
That is March Madness. And UConn, 4 years now in the Final Four. What a great story that is. Their women's in the tournament and in the Final Four as well. But that was one of the best games in the entire tournament, one of the better games you've ever seen in college basketball.
Yeah, Mullins was 0 for 4 up to that point. They were 4 for 22.
Terrible shooting.
I mean,
they were terrible.
They were clanking them left and right, but it just seemed like at halftime they just had the resolve of UConn, that championship resolve of rebounding, getting the turnovers, converting the turnovers. They seemed like they kept their poise. And to your point about, with Boozer getting that ball, I think he somewhat panicked.
He did. That's exactly what happened.
And, as a head coach, you got to just overcoach it. Say, look, if you get the ball, they have to foul you.
Yeah.
They have to foul you. And I think he just got enamored with the guys wide open. He turned around. They were wide open down the court, and they knew it was coming. They were both there. So their scouting report, their film study was, you got to give him a lot of credit for just contesting.
Oh, I do.
If he holds on to it, then they would have fouled him.
Yeah.
But he actually turned to throw it, and they went up, blocked it, got it back, and, going back and forth. Matter of fact, Mullins said, I forget who the other guy was who was shooting pretty good, gave it back to him, said, all right, here we go.
Caravan.
Caravan had a heck of a day, but his three-point shooting was only 1 for 6, too.
Yeah.
But what great theater. I mean, what a way to end.
But that's why we love it so much.
What a way to end the weekend with that. They can, the number one seed, number one overall, gets beat pretty much at their own game. And you saw some shots. You saw some poor shooting selection in the second half as well, too. I think, to your point, Jimmy, I think Duke, it kind of caught up to them.
It did.
The anxiousness. And, when you think of throughout the last 4 years in the Final Four, I think that experience and that coaching experience by Dan is really important to see how well they controlled that, and they never lost their poise. What a great game!
So on Saturday, in the first game, number 3 seed Illinois took care of number 9 seed Iowa, 71-59 to end Iowa's somewhat of a Cinderella run there. Illinois only hit 3 shots from the 3-point range in that game. How about that? They did it all down the stretch, and they are heading to they punched their ticket to the Final Four. They have not been there in a long time. And again, the freshmen are putting up incredible numbers. They have a couple freshmen there that had a couple doubles, and that was like the first time in an NCAA tournament that, you have a couple freshmen that are eligible for postseason since I think 72, 73 to have those kind of numbers. I mean, and now this is the first time that Illinois is in the Final Four since 2005.
That the Wagler kid
Wagler
and Stojakovic. Stojakovic, that's Paige Stojakovic's son, who had all those seasons in the NBA with Sacramento.
Was it Merkovich, David Merkovich? Isn't he the guy?
There's a lot of itches in there.
Yeah, there were.
But he was the other freshman.
He could have been.
Could have been.
It's either him or Stojakovic.
I'll take you over it because you know those guys better than I
The
do.
Balkan states are alive and well.
Yeah.
They've recruited. I mean,
Anyway, Illinois is in the game. It's in the Final Four. I don't think a lot of people had them in their bracket, but maybe they did. Of course, if you went to Illinois. But then Arizona, 79-64 over Purdue. 5 consecutive Elite Eight losses dating back to 2003, which was already tied for the second longest streak in the history. They had been in the Final Four since 2001, so it's a 25-year drought. They were in trouble in that first half. Purdue couldn't miss 7 of 14 three-pointers. They were out-rebounding the Cats. They led at halftime 38-31, and it didn't look good there. Did not look good at all. And then when you see the numbers, Arizona was 1-11 in the NCAA tournament when trailing by at least 6 at halftime. Of course, they were down by 7 in that one. You'll hear from the halftime speech from what Tommy Lloyd did. We'll get into that during our rewind. But basically, he had his associate head coach show some clips, then got out of their way and let the players be the players. I think that's cool. But then second half, they come out, total domination, outscored Purdue 48-26 in that second half. And Purdue just couldn't hit any shots. They were then 1 for 8. What a complete difference. And then Arizona goes on these big runs, and then it was done.
Brayton Smith, the star point guard for the Boilermakers, was 3 of 4 in the first half. In the second half, he made one shot. He was like 1 of 10.
And I think there was a concerted effort to get all over him.
I'm with you.
You saw perimeter defense really come alive by U of A. And then they used to start playing their game. I thought they relaxed. They started moving the ball. And Koa Pete et al. Pretty much really got after. But I thought the second half, they settled down. They took a deep breath, they exhaled. Let's go play our game. And at that point in time, Purdue just could not match the athleticism, the shooting. And on top of that, I think they relied too much on Smith in that second half.
And then the blowout of the tournament in Michigan. They came out on a mission. They did not let up. They led 48-26 at halftime, poured it on in the second. They win by 33 points. They shot almost 52% from the field, 37% from the three-point line. They dominated across the board. Even their bench chipped in 27 points. Tennessee couldn't make any shots. They were just horrible. But now it's Arizona and Michigan.
If there is a team that is playing against Arizona that can match Arizona man for man, it is definitely Michigan. They got the big man in the middle. That's Mara against Krivas. I can't wait for those 7-footers to go after it. They've got talent at every spot. And as Roc alluded to, they have dudes that can come off the bench and score just like Arizona.
I thought they really showed a lot more athleticism.
They did.
Than you've seen in like the Big Ten tournament and other times. I mean, they found like another gear, which is about the time you have in the Elite Eight. But, watching that game was really a mismatch. But to your point, Jimmy, you had 3, 4, 5 guys come off the bench.
Yeah.
And then he cleared the bench, obviously, at the end of the game. But I thought size, athleticism really shined, probably more so than I think we've seen the entire year.
All right, coming up in the rewind, March Madness drama from coast to coast. Dan Hurley reacting to a UConn stunner. Different emotions in Duke and the Arizona game, of course. Tori Lovello trying to explain the 0-3 start. Gary Woodland with one of the most emotional finishes you'll ever hear on the golf course, and the Suns staying locked in after another win. So we'll get into that next. It's our replay rewind right here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
The road to the championship ends Monday, April 6th, and the place to watch it is DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale with Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B on ESPN 620. Join us from 1 till 4 p.m. as we break down the matchup, the betting angles, and everything you need before tip-off of the big championship game. Cold drinks, big screens, and the best sports crowd in the Valley. Come hang with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live Monday at DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale. The championship game deserves a championship setting.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Progressive knows that for business owners, vacations hit different. But hey, at least you finally took a vacation. And look at that. You only answered 53 calls, 84 emails, onboarded one new hire, and covered for Chris while he's out on paternity leave, and you did it all from a kayak. Because you, my friend, know how to relax. All right, you may not know how to take a day off, but you do know both your personal and business auto insurance needs can be covered in one place with Progressive. So at least that's relaxing, right? Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states or situations.
When your check engine light comes on, do you see a repair bill or do you see peace of mind? For 20 years, CarShield's been the name America trusts to help keep you on the road. While other companies stop covering you when your car gets older, CarShield offers protection plans up to 200,000 miles. With over $1 billion in claims paid, we don't just promise protection, we deliver it. Don't let a breakdown break your budget. Get the flexible month-to-month coverage you deserve. Go to carshield.com. That's carshield.com today.
Now it's time for our replay rewind. The top sounds of the night and whatever Roc decides to add. Let's get to it in replay rewind with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620 and on FM at 98.7 HD-2.
All right, let's start in college hoops, where UConn got a massive moment from Braylon Mullins. You've all heard it, you've all seen it, but it's worth playing again. Here's the CBS call, the game winner.
Got to cut and run through the ball. Who better than this guy? Get it into Boozer. Back for Sar. Ahead. Boozer. That ball deflected. Stolen by Mullins. Caravan, 2 seconds. Mullins tosses it out. Oh! It's done. We're pulling 3. UConn goes in front.
I love it. Oh, it's so good. By the way, we're watching NFL Live here in the studios. Sean McVay is being interviewed over there at the Biltmore. That's where all the NFL guys are. If you look at it, I got a
hang out with NFL guys.
I got a text today, and someone sent me a picture of the Dallas Cowboys plane that's in the parking lot. I wanted to get a freaking dozen eggs and head over to Sky Harbor in a private area. Just start freaking egging that thing.
Eagle Boy here.
Eagle
Boy. Many years ago when Houlihan, remember when Houlihan's was open over there, Rock at 24th Street, Calback, and they'd come in at the Biltmore. And so if you went over there.
Houston's?
No, the good old, it was called Houlihan's.
Oh, Houlihan's, yes.
Yeah. So when they were in town at the Biltmore, if you went over there on a Wednesday, Thursday, or like Thursday night, right? A lot of guys go over there and you see all the owners, the general managers, and all those guys. So I just got done with replacement games. So that March, there's there's Bill Polian and Bob Ferguson.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm walking down, they're walking. I said, hey, guys, hey, thanks for bringing me in. I'm available if you think you want to bring me back. And Tom goes, Danny, hey, appreciate it. We'll keep that under, what they call it, under
Advisement.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. But those guys are all roaming around freely.
All right, let's hear from Dan Hurley after the shot dropped. Even Dan Hurley sounded like a guy who knew he just witnessed something special.
The courage, the young man, he's a rare human being. The toughness about him to take the shot on a tough shooting night, but he was due.
He was saying, keep shooting.
Yeah.
Keep shooting. And you're right. He was over.
Yeah.
But he made the most important three-point shot probably of his life up to date before they move into the Final Four.
All right, then he went on. It was shocked just to hear how bad this stat was, if you remember the stat.
You guys started 1 of 18 from three-point range, finished 4 for 5, and hit the game winner from 3. How ironic is that? What do you feel was what turned for you guys down the stretch there?
What the hell did you just say? 1 for 18? I knew it was bad. I kept asking the assistant coaches, and no one would tell me what it was. I knew it was bad.
It was bad. It was dreadful until the last couple of minutes.
Well, and they were barely 70% for free throw shooting. They went to the line 17 times, so they were just an off shooting night all the way around.
Meanwhile, for Duke, the message after loss was simple.
We just have to secure it, right? I mean, we got it. They had a foul. I was ready for a timeout, and we just got to hold on. And, it's easy to look at that play. I look at every play that happened, especially in that second half. This is not about one play. It's about every play to put us in that position. And that's what you don't want to do. Where one play, something can happen. And so for me, look, it's going to be tough, but it's not going to be on one play.
I can tell you right now, he did tell his guys, secure the ball. Sure. You could tell just from that statement, he wasn't going to say it that way, but listening to the way and interpreting what he said, I told them, secure the ball.
And then it came a tough moment for Caden Boozer, who he put the loss squarely on himself. Here he is after the game.
I turned the ball over. Should have been strong with the ball. That would cost our team our season.
What did Coach Shire say before in that timeout, before you guys were inbounding the ball there?
Just that we knew that they were going to try. Just be strong.
Yeah. I don't think he put that game on just one play.
I'm not going to bury the kid for that.
That's not going to stand out. I mean, this team had 13 turnovers, and UConn only had 5. So it was the other turnovers that you saw. But I mean, I think his eyes lit up when they trapped. He saw the guys behind him. There was nobody back there.
I'm with you. There wasn't anybody there
because the wings were wide open. He just said, "Okay, I'm going to flip it to him. We're going to catch it, close the game out." Versus they had to foul you at that point.
And then get to Arizona sound. There's Coach Pete. Arizona brought the energy, and he brought one of the biggest exclamation points of the night. Here he is throwing it down against Purdue.
Stops, you get yourself back in this game. Just got to get stops on this end.
Jumped out of your seat on that one. Then at halftime, Tommy Lloyd said he challenged his guys to solve it themselves. Here he is on what changed for Arizona. They were down by 7 at that.
In the locker room at halftime, you have long half times. We've talked a lot about this with the guys, long half times, long timeouts. We can't let that disrupt our rhythm. And we have to be the team that comes out with the most effort out of a timeout, these 3-minute timeouts or, a 20-minute halftime. And, we ran, Murph does what our normal routine, shows the guys some clips. I come in when he's kind of done, talk to them, kind of my thoughts and a little overall thoughts for what we need to do in the second half. And then these dudes have been unbelievable. And this is when we're at our best. I said, guys, the coaching staff and I are going to leave right now. You guys got a few minutes to talk amongst yourselves and kind of figure this deal out. And let's go kick their ass in the second half. And all these dudes, I was literally a spectator just like you guys were in that second half. That's what it felt like. And so proud of these guys.
And that's when your senior leadership in Bradley and Awaka take over that locker room and said, look, guys, everybody breathe, exhale, relax, let's go play our game. And they did. And I love when a coach puts that onus on the players or that senior leadership to just kind of settle the troops down. You're good. come out there and then do your thing. And I think that was so good to have him pull that curtain back. Just said, this is what we told our guys. Left the room, left it up to them to make it happen.
All right. I'm going to go down the road. I may get in trouble for this. And what I'm about to say, I'm not knocking this person personally at all. I guess we're friends. I mean, we're colleagues.
Yes.
But do you ever watch AZ Family after the game with Doug Franz and
I do.
I have seen that.
Can Doug get rid of the basketball? It must be a junior basketball because he uses it as a prop, but he's palming it.
Yeah.
But I think it's a baby basketball. I don't think it's a regular size basketball.
It's deflated, Rock?
No, it's you know how when you were a little kid, you're like in the juniors, you play with the smaller ball, with the 9-foot instead of 10-foot courts.
Yes.
And I still
play
the last two Sundays.
balls. The NCAA women's balls are slightly smaller.
They are. Yeah. We got to get Doug Franz on the program because I don't know why he's got to have that. And he's palming it. The last 2-3 weeks, he's had that basketball.
Yep.
And I just sit there and I'm like, should I text him and say, like, we're not that. We both went to Ohio U, so we're friends. And he was Wolf's partner for so many years, right?
Right.
But why does he need to palm the ball the whole time? And I'm like, that cannot be this regular size ball.
Maybe he's got big hands. Who knows?
But okay. But the whole time he's got the ball in his hand.
I'm with you. I've
as
seen
a
it.
prop.
Yeah.
And I don't know, is that a little too much?
No.
I mean, it's funny. I literally had to email myself when I'm watching. I'm like, all right, tomorrow on the show, I want to bring up the basketball prop and I want to ask Doug if it's a regular size basketball. Because if it isn't, or if it is a regular size basketball, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
He's got massive hands.
He does.
But not that we need to go any farther with that.
No, I'm not going to say anything. I'll be quiet.
I just want to know what the size of that basketball is. I mean, he's doing a good job with the logo. It's facing the camera. It's NCAA basketball. But to CC's point, it's probably a ladies.
It's got to be a ladies basketball. It might be. I'll reach out to Doug.
Reach out to Doug.
I'll reach out to Doug. Hey,
Rock wants to know
what's up with the basketball.
What do you need the prop for? You look good in a suit. I mean, you look good up there. You do. I like your takes. But what do you need the basketball for?
The emphasis on the NCAA basketball.
I mean, it's just sitting there right in their face. Anyway, let's jump ahead real quick to Gary Woodland. One of the coolest moments of the weekend came on the PGA Tour. Gary Woodland, a guy that I've met a couple times. I got to walk with him in the ropes for 9 holes in the Pro-Am at Waste Management 3 years ago. And it capped off an emotional win for him. And he's gone through a lot of stuff. And here is what he had to say after he got that final putt, and now he gets to go to the Masters with the win.
It's the latest story. It is ever a good one. Belongs to Gary Woodland.
I got a lot of people behind me, my team, my family, in this golf world. Anybody that's struggling with something, I hope they see me and don't give up. Just keep fighting.
Brain surgery, PTSD. What a remarkable comeback story. Those are the stories that gives you the chills. Just hearing that. TC putting the music under it. Good job there. Yeah, pretty emotional.
He's going to be a fan favorite at the Masters. He really will.
And I think it's neat how he shared his struggles.
Oh, yeah.
I looked up PTSD this morning. I didn't realize it is. I knew it was major. When I looked at it on a daily basis, how you deal with all the things you have to deal with, where it comes from, I commend the guy from just staying on tour and dealing with what he had to do.
It's such a head game, as we all know that play golf.
Yeah.
It's so much between the ears. And if you have all these things going on, I can't imagine how you could focus. And for him to win a tournament like that.
Not only, Rock, did he win, he won going away.
Killed it.
He just
was in the zone. Great stuff, man. Yeah. Great stuff. All right, today's Replay Rewind is brought to you by Lerner & Rowe. In a wreck, need a check, make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. By the way, found out today the Lerner & Rowe Gives Back Golf Tournament on 24th of April has been sold. It is sold out. No more foursomes available. They get about 325 golfers, so it's a big-time golf tournament. We'll be broadcasting live there for the tournament, so it should be a lot of fun. So there are some sponsorships still available. maybe they could squeeze out or force them in there if you buy a sponsorship. But you can go to Lerner Roc Gives Back for that. All right, former ASU and NFL quarterback turned agent Rudy Carpenter will join us next. NFL draft is just 3 weeks away. We'll get the inside scoop from him. Don't go anywhere. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B here on ESPN Radio Phoenix.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The Arizona Diamondbacks home opener is tonight at Chase Field as they welcome the Detroit Tigers to town for the start of a 3-game set. Michael Soroka takes the mound for Arizona while Justin Verlander makes his return to Detroit and will get the ball for the Tigers. First pitch is set for 7:10 with pregame coverage starting at 6:30 on 98.7 FM and streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. And on the hardwood, the Phoenix Suns head to Memphis to take on the shorthanded Memphis Grizzlies. Tip-off for that one is at 5 with pregame coverage starting at 4 right here on ESPN 620 AM and also streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. Here's your perfect national championship plan. Get to DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale early and catch us live from 1 to 4 p.m. Then don't move because the Natty kicks off right after. One great spot, one great day. We will see you there at DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale.
When it comes to sushi, reputation matters, and Sushi Brokers Arcadia has built theirs on being the best sushi in Arizona. From traditional rolls to bold fusion creations, like our crowd favorite, Seafood Dynamite, and the must-try sushi pizza. We've got something for everyone. Our famous happy hour is every day from 3 to 6:30 with fresh favorites like the California roll, spicy tuna roll, and the surf and turf roll, topped with seared steak. Sushi Brokers Arcadia, 44th Street in Indian School.
Swing into Vans Golf Shops to get fit for the new Ping I-540 irons and G740 irons. The new Ping I-540 distance irons deliver more speed for more distance with stopping power. The G740 Super Game Improvement irons launch higher for more distance, more forgiveness, and more consistency. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Lerner Rowe today and let's make them pay. Call 977-1900.
Call 977-1900.
Mania is here, and there's only one place to catch every buzzer beater, every upset, every bracket buster. Twin Peaks. Watch all the action on wall-to-wall TVs with made-from-scratch favorites and the ultimate game day atmosphere, featuring Michelob Ultra all tournament long. Whether your bracket's still perfect or completely busted, Twin Peaks is your headquarters for the madness. Join us at any of the 5 Valley locations: Deer Valley, Phoenix, Glendale, Scottsdale, and Tempe. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
You know what scared Kathy more than surgery? Giving up her active life, turning down opportunities to do the things she loves.
I found myself saying, no, I don't want to do that because of pain. It was really limiting my activities in every way.
And then came the diagnosis.
You need 2 full knee replacements. I don't have time for a double knee replacement, and I don't like pain. So no.
But that's not how her story ends. She tried something different. QC Kinetics. It was cutting edge, but natural and much easier on her body with thousands of patient success stories.
I went to QC Kinetics. Within a couple of weeks, I was absolutely pain-free, no pain. I feel fantastic. Too much life to live, and I want to stay in motion as long as I possibly can.
Don't let pain decide what you say yes or no to. Live your best life. They'll make sure of it at QC Kinetics, starting with a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 602-837-7246. In Phoenix, Scottsdale, Peoria, and Chandler. That's 837-7246. 837-7246.
Here to talk football is former Sun Devil and NFL quarterback Rudy Carpenter, who went 3-0 against that team in Tucson.
Deep ball again by Rudy Carpenter. He reads it in zone coverage to find the safety.
Rudy Carpenter now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, April 23rd, Pittsburgh, the draft. So we're about 3 weeks away, and there's some guys jumping up the board quite a bit. And I don't know if it's media hype or what, but one in particular that I want to get Rudy's take on, and that's Ty Simpson. He's getting a lot of buzz. It's a potential top 3 pick out of Alabama. Only 15 career starts. And Rudy, as someone who's played the position as well as an agent, how much does experience matter? And can a guy with that few starts succeed early in the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to kind of, go back to, I feel like a broken record and, what I always say, which is your quarterback is only going to be as good as the organization and is only going to be as good as everybody around him. And I think we've seen that over and over and over and over and over and over again, whether it be with Sam Darnold this year, or anybody else. It's going to be interesting to see Kyler Murray and if he's able to, resurrect his career in Minnesota. But, again, I was listening to, Wolf on the radio recently, and, he was talking about it too, which is it makes no sense, whether it's free agency or the draft, to go bring in these high-priced free agents at skill spots or go draft these big-time skill guys when at the end of the day, you number one, you either can't block for them in the run game, or number two, you can't pass for them. You can't protect them in the pass game. And so to me, the Cardinals are still a long ways away from, in my viewpoint, being able to make a run at a playoff berth. And so because of that, you got to build that team from the offensive line and the defensive line. And I'll say that to answer your question with Ty Simpson, that he's only going to be as good as the offensive line that's around him, as the organization, as the head coach, the offensive coordinator, all of that. And typically when you're being picked in the top 3, in the top 5, even in the top 10 spots in the draft, you're going to a team and an organization that hasn't been good. And so it's really hard to be successful. So I know these guys all want to get drafted as high as possible to make the most money as possible. But to me, what you really want is long-term success. And so it's so much better, maybe in Ty's case, to be picked a little bit later in the first round and go to a much better organization. But if that organization is good, most likely they have a good quarterback. So it's really, really tough.
So, Rudy, I totally concur with that. My question is, with Ty Simpson watching the tape, as Roc alluded to, and watching him at the combine, watching him at pro days, all of a sudden there's this buzz that he might be moving up, whatever that is. Why the infatuation all of the sudden when you pretty much have most of what you need on him per se? What's causing him to move that when you, to your point, you pretty much know who he is? What caused that moving upward?
Well, I'll probably give you, maybe a controversial take, but here's kind of how it goes. You got an agency like CAA, or you got an agency like Athletes First. They represent, I know CAA's got Ty Simpson, and all of a sudden you see Dan Orlovsky, who, oh my gosh, is all of a sudden also represented by CAA, and he goes up on there and talks about how great Ty Simpson is. So when you talk about the buzz and shooting up draft boards, I always laugh because these NFL teams spend so much money a year on scouting. They're not just going to be letting people know what their board looks like. They're not just out there telling media people who's rising up their board or who's not. It's just a bunch of talking heads like Dan Orlovsky who go on ESPN and spout off, whatever it is they want to spout off. And as I'm sure everybody knows, there's always all kinds of things behind that, such as, in these cases, a lot of the time, they share the same agency, they share the same people, and that's just how it goes. So is he shooting up draft boards? I don't know. Does he have a very powerful agent who represents a lot of the talking heads at ESPN? Yeah. Does that help? I guess. But at the end of the day, these NFL teams are doing their homework on him, and whatever they feel the tape says and the medical says, and they dig into him as a person, whatever that says, I ultimately think that's how it's going to go. To me, Fernando Mendoza, QB1, and after QB1, it's just, in my viewpoint, an average class. And so, whoever takes Ty Simpson, good for them.
I'm with you on that, Rudy, 100%. My question is this. Because of all the Simpson talk and according to talking heads, him shooting up the board, when I look at some drafts online, they still have a lot of top 10, top picks are linemen, either offensive linemen or defensive linemen. In this draft, as you just referenced, Mendoza being the number one QB, then there's everybody else. Wouldn't that be, if you're a team that needs line help like you talk about, wouldn't you be more involved in grabbing a top offensive lineman to help protect your quarterback?
I mean, yeah, that's the philosophy. But, of course, there's always people who think that, you can get very, very, very productive guys on the offensive line in rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and even undrafted, right? There are some guys that have incredible, physical tangibles and measurements that are really hard to, not notice, right? But, as an example, the ASU kid, Nacho, or I don't know how to say his last name, but he's, according to people, shooting up draft boards and catching up to Caden Proctor, right? And, Nacho going into the year, I think people thought was just an average player and maybe, would be a mid-round pick or something. Caden Proctor was, consensus number one guy from Alabama, the greatest thing since sliced bread. And now all of a sudden, Nacho has caught up to him. So I think why I say that is because sometimes the philosophy is if you're not going to take one of these incredible skill position guys in the top 2, 3, 4, 5 in the draft, sometimes it makes sense to trade back in the draft and get a whole bunch of picks. And now you have, a lot more, chances to find, your guy, whether that be in the first round or the 7th round on the offensive line. And so I think all these teams are going to look at their options and they're going to try to figure out, what makes the most sense. It makes sense to pick. You can get a Will Campbell, right? And I think people would say that he was probably just average this year, right? To get to the Patriots, you draft him as high as you did, and I think you got average play from him. Or you can draft a guy that high, like the Colts did with Quentin Nelson. You get a perennial Pro Bowler and a guy that's probably going to be in the Hall of Fame. So, I mean, it's all really, 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 really hard. And it's why these teams spend so much money and as much time as they do on scouting and traveling around the country and really digging into these players and trying to find out who they are.
Well, speaking, real quick, Rob, speaking of that, as far as the pro day, the scouting you just mentioned, how much goes into that in reference to, like, ASU just had their pro day? You had 31 scouts, coaches, GMs, what have you, that are there. And when you coach up your guys or get your guys as far as what they need to do or not do, how vitally important is that kind of the last piece of the puzzle for these guys before draft day, Rudy?
Well, everything's important, right? The season is important. The medical history is important. The background checks are important. The combine is important. Everything's important. Pro day is important. Private workouts are important. Team visits. It's all really, really important. It's all part of the evaluation. It's all big, right? You got to be on your A game for all of it. But at the end of the day, I also think that when it's pro day time or when it's combine time or when it's all-star time, people get all-star games, Senior Bowl time. People get caught up in the moment in those games or in that combine or in that pro day, and they get real caught up into that. And sometimes they make it seem as if that's the end-all, be-all, and that's the stuff that's going to get these guys drafted. But ultimately what ends up happening is once all the pro days are over, once all the team visits are done, once all the phone calls are done and Zoom meetings, once everything is done and the team brings all of their scouts and all of their people back into the building the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks before the draft, and they really start to dial in on their draft board and where they got guys ranked and et cetera, that's when they start moving back to the film. They start moving back to, the meat and potatoes of the evaluation, which is, how well does he play? What is his experience? What does the tape show us? What's his medical history? What have we learned about him in the background check? And yes, does the, how high he jumped at the combine matter? Does how fast he ran at the combine matter? Does, whatever they did at his private workouts or his pro days, from a workout standpoint, does that matter? Yeah, it all matters. But, once we get to the few weeks before the draft, it really goes back to the meat and potatoes of this stuff. And the talking heads just spend a lot of time filling time on TV up until those names start getting called.
Rudy, great stuff as always, buddy. Have a good week. Thanks for your time today.
See you guys.
That's Rudy Carpenter joining us here. Rudy G. Carp 12, the former Sun Devil and NFL quarterback turned agent. He is brought to you today by Twin Peaks, 5 Valley locations. Join us this Thursday for another broadcast live from Deer Valley location, all powered by Michelob Ultra, Superior Light Beer. Happy hour begins every day from 3 to 6. Don't miss Michelob Ultra specials every Thursday. That's Twin Peaks, Eats, Drinks, and Scenic Views. All right, the NFL league meetings are at the Biltmore, right in our backyard. The drama is real. Is A.J. Brown an Eagle or isn't he? Any replacement refs coming to your NFL season? Well, they are. We're going to get into that next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
Rock for WhiteToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers deliver more air for less money. They're rust-free and backed by more than 40 years of experience keeping you cool. Available now online at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Tractor Supply. Shipped to the store or right to your door. Visit staycool-products.com. Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube. Get yours today with free shipping and beat the heat.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with the perfect plan to ensure everyone's well fed and happy. Grad party, office celebration, family reunion. Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411-24/7. That's catering to 411-247 or Venencias.com.
Downtown Phoenix is turning up the volume with the NCAA Women's Final Four Super Saturday. It starts at the Super Saturday practice presented by Samsung Galaxy at Mortgage Matchup Center. One last practice for the final 2 teams. Plus, the Super Saturday concert presented by AT&T, a free live performance at Hance Park. Super Saturday, April 4th in downtown Phoenix. Free events, all ages, all weekend. NCAA.com/Women's Final Four.
Phoenix, if you need a plumber, call the team that does it the right way. Victory Plumbing Arizona. It's particular plumbing for particular people with upfront pricing before the work starts. So there's no surprises when the job's done. And here's a deal just for listeners. Tell them you heard Victory Plumbing on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, and they'll waive the service charge. For leaks, clogs, water heaters, or anything plumbing, book today at victoryplumbingarizona.com. ROC number 268603.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B want to take you back. A quick reflection on some of the more memorable moments in sports and pop culture. Now, time for your Right Toyota on this day report. Right Toyota, right on the corner, right on the price. Right Toyota in Scottsdale.
All right, back in 1940, Indiana beat Kansas 60-42 in just the second ever NCAA basketball championship. In 1990, in our own backyard, Jack Nicklaus debuted in the Senior PGA Tour at the Tradition up at Desert Mountain. Shot a 71 in round one, going on to win the event by 4 strokes, the Golden Baron, in his backyard there. And in 2001, last one, 15-year-old kid named Michael Phelps broke the 200-meter butterfly world record at the U.S. World Championship Trials in Austin, becoming the youngest male ever to set a world swimming record.
I'd say he was pretty good.
Yeah, the rest is
Swam
history. Right?
forever. 16 years. Not bad.
Unbelievable.
All right, as we get a little early on football at 50, A.J. Brown and the Eagles, Howie Roseman, sat down with the media yesterday, and his non-answer was the answer. Every single Brown question got the same response. A.J. Brown is a member of the Philadelphia Eagles. Full stop every time. Now, here's why nothing has happened yet. And it won't until June. The dead cap hit to trade Brown before June 1st is north of about $40 million. And then after June 1st, it drops to around $20 million. So that's the magic date. When the deal does happen, we'll have to see. I mean, there's some talk that he could end up with the Patriots, the Rams, the Bills, the Chargers. But right now, you just don't know. There's a lot of rumors out there. Philly did add Elijah Moore and Hollywood Brown over the summer, or offseason, I should say. So we'll see what happens there with him. Bottom line is Howie Roseman is one of the best general managers in all football.
Yes,
and he's playing this perfectly.
Yep.
You know, the Broncos traded for Jalen Waddle only strengthened Philly's leverage. So June 1st is the deadline, and we'll watch that date.
Rock, you're an Eagles fan. You for him going or staying?
No, I can't stand the ass. Yeah. You gotta let him hit it. I don't care. Just
Manuch, should
throw
the
him out
Cardinals
with,
go get him?
with the
Should the
bathwater.
Cardinals get him?
Well, it depends.
He's a
on the
real
prices.
talent.
Yeah, he's a real town ass.
Yeah, and that's I'll tell you what, nowadays it's if you feel you can get along without somebody like that, there's your answer right there.
Yeah, they can.
They can get along with
Philly
that.
fans don't want him. They know how he's a superstar. But we also know that he lost the game the last game of the season.
And the thing is,
he couldn't catch anything.
That's right. He had trouble catching a cold in the middle of Antarctica in an icebox for crying
All right,
out loud.
this one is breaking right here in the Arizona Biltmore, just about 15 minutes from where we are broadcasting, and it deserves our attention. The NFL owners are alarmed at where negotiations stand with the referees union. The current CBA expires May 31st. Replacement official training begins May 1st. One league source put it bluntly, we are so far apart on economics that unless an act of God gets involved, and then he didn't finish the sentence. Another source just basically said the league is expecting a lockout. So the money gap is wide. The NFL is offering close to 6.5% annual raises on a 6-year deal, while the refs average about $385,000 a year. But it's not just money. The league wants performance-based accountability. They want shorter probationary periods, then some other stuff too. But the union is pushing back. So the league remembers 2012. That's the year they waited too long. They threw in all these unprepared refs, these replacement refs, like Manuch being a replacement football player.
Thank you.
Got to fail a Mary game in Seattle.
Unprepared.
This time they're moving early. So if no deal gets done by late May, you could be watching replacement refs in the preseason and potentially the regular season. Every football fan needs to be watching this because it's going to affect us gambling.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And I think a couple things here. The current association, the referees here, has the leverage here.
They do.
These guys have other jobs. So They don't need this job to say, okay, we gotta get a deal done because my livelihood depends on it, whatever that is. But again, then the owners got to say, we don't want to see that Hail Mary we saw in the Green Bay Seattle game. Right. That was the most embarrassing moment for officiating, I think. There's been many, but that one there, one just called touchdown, one to say incomplete or possession going the other way. So I think that there's got to be a compromise because I think, Rock, you bring that up. You know, the gambling scenario, the spreads, who's the crew? Well, these guys have got these guys have got no experience whatsoever. So you got to take account of that. Not only the team, but who are the officials what experience they have. And don't you think the wise guys will look into the background of the officials for these games? So right now, the NFLers don't have the leverage because these guys have got jobs. And a lot of them are attorneys, guys are accountants, whatever it is.
They make money.
Yeah. This isn't their livelihood like NBA, Major League Baseball, and hockey. Those guys, that's their full-time gig. This isn't, unfortunately, for the NFL referees.
It's interesting that we always refer to the failed Mary because that was the biggest issue that they had.
They came back the next week.
Yes.
They had an agreement.
They had to.
In 3 days.
Yes, it was done. But prior to that, there were all kinds of mistakes that were taking place. All you had to do was watch the games, hear the announcers talk about, oh, that's not right. So it happened way before the failed Mary, but that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
All right, Myles Garrett not going anywhere, at least for now, as their general manager said yesterday. Myles is a career Brown. I don't really want to waste more breath on the topic, but here's why the buzz started. Cleveland quietly restructured his contract, pushing $29 million roster bonus to the week before the regular season for each of the next 3 years. So that made the trade mechanically possible in a way it simply wasn't before. So around the league, that got a lot of people's attention fast. Adam Schefter came out and said he called the Browns directly, and he was told, quote, 100% definitely not trading him. Some other, pundits like Adam Schefter saying the same thing. The backdrop to this is 23 sacks last year. One of the greatest edge rusher seasons, I should say, ever. And he holds a full no trade clause. So any deal requires his blessing. So some analysts think a package could net Cleveland 3 first-rounders and a premium player. Do you jump on that so they can draft more quarterbacks?
They'd screw it up.
Yeah, they'll draft more quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And the other thing, too, is somebody else looked at that contract and go, okay, he's going to get $29 million the next 3 years on opening day.
Yeah.
Do you want to pay that plus his salary on top of it? So all they're doing is just moving the money up front so they got money on the back end to sign these guys. So he's going to get a $29 million bonus. That's how they satisfied that money for the next 3 years. Guaranteed.
He's so good.
He's not going anywhere.
No. He is so good.
He's amazing.
He really is.
Yeah, I would like to see him on a really good team.
Like
he'd have somebody next to him that he could probably get even more sacks.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't know who
They double team him all the time. He's double teamed.
They chip him, they double team him.
Yeah.
I mean, but the thing is that $30 million net for the next 3 years, somebody else would have to buy off on that. Now, if he can find a trade partner, his agent, they give him permission.
3 first-rounders.
And that, well, was he 31 now? 30, 31, 32?
How old is?
But that would be a hell of a deal. 3 first round. Hey,
all right. Football at 50 is powered by Wright Toyota. The right price, the right selection, always the right dealership. Located in Scottsdale and Franklin Wright Boulevard. Wright Toyota has the right deal for everyone. Check out their full inventory of pre-owned certified vehicles under $15,000. Everything's online at WrightToyota.com. All right, coming up as we continue into hour number 2, we catch up with former Stanford and Phoenix Sun Casey Jacobsen. But first, the D-backs got roughed up in Los Angeles. No Sunday game. How odd was that? We're going to get into that. But tonight, home opener against the Tigers, 7:10 first pitch. I know everybody here at the station's gone, so I think everybody took today off here at Arizona Sports. There's nobody here. Everybody's, it's opening day.
Yeah, at the Chase.
So we'll get a full preview next. Appreciate you hanging out with us today. It's Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B here on ESPN Radio Phoenix, Run FM at 98.7 HD2, on YouTube as well, and X and Twitter, and of course always on the Arizona Sports app. Hour number 2 is next.
Nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Whatever you're craving, we got it. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon pours, and top shelf spirits served over ice balls that hit just right. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails, yep, all here. And with 5 Valley locations. And don't forget the teeth-chattering 29-degree drafts we're famous for. Pair it all with scratch kitchen bites that actually satisfy. From shareables to hearty favorites. When it comes to happy hour, Twin Peaks doesn't play. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views.
Hey, it's Gambo, and I'm here with Stuart Willis, the president of Asset Preservation Wealth and Tax. Stuart, I got a great tax guy. He does a good job for me every year, but I'm always keeping 5 years of records from behind. He never looks forward and has a plan for me going forward. But when you work with you and Asset Preservation, You guys have a tax plan for the future.
Absolutely. Look, most people think that their tax plan is when they file taxes, but that really is just looking backwards. You must look forward. Tax planning is about how you can save taxes in years to come. If you don't have a financial plan that includes a tax plan, I think you're missing out.
And most financial advisors do not have a tax plan for you going forward, which is why I recommend you make the phone call right now and get a free portfolio review with the same guy I work with, Stuart Willis from Asset Preservation Wealth and Tax. Call 602-877-PLAN or go online at assetpreservationwealth.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Foundations Investment Advisors LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
Looking for heavy equipment but don't know where to buy? Purple Wave Auction has you covered. Always online and always no reserve. It's your destination for construction or ag equipment ready to work. We even sell semis, trailers, and fleet equipment for your operation. Best part? It's free to join. Head to purplewave.com. That's purplewave.com. Sign up for a free account and start bidding today. Purple Wave Auction, the easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Living and having fun in the hot summer sun can turn deadly when mixed with stimulants. Stimulant drugs raise body temperature, impair the brain's ability to regulate heat, and makes it harder for the heart to cope with extreme heat. Studies show 1 in 5 heat-related deaths have involved meth, a stimulant that overheats the body, putting users at higher risk. Be aware and stay safe. Meth and heat is a deadly mix. Visit thenewmeth.com.
Sponsored by the Substance Awareness Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620. And now, an on-air sports marketing presentation. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD-2, and streaming live at arizonasports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
All right, as we look at the first weekend for D-backs baseball, they dropped both games in LA Friday and Saturday by a combined 3 runs. The offense had moments but couldn't come through with runners on base, going 3 for 12 with runners in scoring position across both games. The bullpen, specifically Ginkel on Friday, Morello on Saturday, gave away leads late in those games. Edwin Diaz was the story for LA, coming in to close out both games without allowing the run. Kid's a stud. But game one, or Friday game, that was 5-4. As they took a lead in that one early, they just couldn't get it going. Mookie Betts provided a big blow with a homer and 3 RBIs. And then in game 2, on Saturday, I should say game 3 of that series, this one's even more painful. After the close loss the night before, the bats went cold. They jumped out again. 1-0 the first, add another run in the third. Eddie Rodriguez was absolutely dealing. 5 innings, 0 runs, hit 5 Ks. Looked like the D-backs were in great shape, and then the wheels come off because of the bullpen. And I think it's just something we're going to have to get used to. I don't know what they're going to do. It's been the talk of this team for the last few years. It wasn't really addressed in the offseason. And, and if this offense is going to be cold like it was on Saturday, a tough night at the plate, I mean, this team is hit just 161 as a team and went 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position. Corbin Carroll, Haven Smith, they did get into it a little bit, but everyone else was held hitless. So it's not good. And again, it's only the first weekend. Now you start a home series with Detroit, and hopefully you can win this series and just win series. You don't need to sweep, just win series and just keep it close. It's a long season, but we knew the Dodgers were going to be a team that, this team's always going to have trouble with.
And as well as, Rodriguez pitched, he just felt, okay, the D-backs can get one, one out of the three, move on. But I think that the key is Murillo came in. When he walked Mookie Betts, he started losing control a little bit. First two guys go down. You get a couple outs, and he walks Betts. And then why wouldn't it? On Will Smith bobblehead night.
And his
birthday on top of that. You throw him a heater. The first heater, he threw him right by him.
Yeah.
The second one, either Will Smith's a great clutch hitter, right? But that second one, right down Broadway, let her high, just golfed it. And the 2 runs scored to win that game 3-2. I felt bad for Rodriguez to throw so well. And for this bullpen to come in, Lasagna had a good inning, only gave up the 1 hit. But on top of that, I think you're right, Rock. I think it's kind of the bullpen by committee that's going to struggle. It's a team that if you don't get the runs to support this team or get the runs afterwards as far as clutch runs are concerned, it's going to rear its ugly head as it did in all 3 of the games it reared its ugly head.
Remember last year, they could have a 3-run lead in the 7th inning and find a way to lose because the bullpen would blow up. And that's what we just saw. Now, granted, they are playing the best team in baseball, the 2-time defending champions in the Dodgers. So maybe if that was against somebody else, maybe that doesn't take place. But they are opening on the road against the 2-time defending World Series champs.
So D-backs 0-3, get swept as we mentioned, outscored 14-7. Detroit comes in town, they roll in 2-1. They were in San Diego. They open up their home later in the week. The Tigers are a legitimate American League contender this year. We don't know what's left in the tank for Justin Verlander, how long he will go tonight. Of course, he's back where it all started with the Detroit Tigers. He's a future Hall of Famer, clearly has had success wherever he's gone. But you just don't know what he is at this point. He gets into a pretty good rotation there. He gets the ball in this game 1 of the series, and at this stage of his career, he's more of a craftsman than he's like overpowering, like he was really good at that point. But he's still a savvy veteran who can pitch, that can give this Arizona team some troubles.
Yeah, and I think that's what you just said, that he's become a pitcher more so than a thrower.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for years he was dominant.
Yeah.
In the last couple of years, he said it was about 2 years ago, I think he was at Houston at the time. He had to learn to pitch more properly because he was losing his juice off the fastball.
Right. Yeah.
But this is a good staff. I mean, you've got him tonight. You've got Mize. You got Skubal and Zach Gallen on Wednesday. That's going to be a hell of a game. But you're right. They beat the Padres 2 out of 3. They scored, 13 runs. Only gave up 7. This is a good, solid playoff-bound team that the Diamondbacks are going to have to deal with. But to your point, Jimmy, about last year, D-backs 7th, 8th inning came on. They're up, 2 runs, 3 runs.
Okay.
As soon as the relief comes in, one guy gets off the opposing team. You're sitting there going, okay, when's the other shoe going to drop? And it dropped the majority of the time. So I just hope for D-back fans, for all of us, that they can get this settled down and not get too far behind. Be 1-6, 1-7, or 2-8. Get way behind the 8 ball, and at that point in time, you've got your starters may have to go an extra inning or extra few outs if this bullpen continues to struggle. Now the mix and match, you talk about Murillo, Lasagna, those guys. What can they do? What can't they do? You're playing some tough competition the first month of this season.
This offense needs to step up, though. This offense needs to wake up. It's early.
I agree.
But,
yeah.
Think about it. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Last year, it seems like, and it's been like that with the Phoenix Suns earlier this year. We beat them up so hard when they lose. And then the next game, everything gets better. Everything's fine if they rebound. Similar to what we were last year. We would get on the Diamondbacks. They blow a lead. They lose the game, but then they would win the next game. And then everything would be fine for that 24 hours. And then the news cycle changes, so they're back to where they were. And then they lose again. And then we're like, oh, my God, the Diamondbacks that. And then they win the next day, and everything's fine. It's so hard because there's so many damn games where, you only have one day to talk about it, right? In the NFL, we talk about a team for a whole week, and I prefer that. But at least the good thing in baseball, you could just shut it down. I mean, you could talk about it and then throw it away, flush it, then get the reboot. The fact there was no Sunday game yesterday,
that's interesting.
I mean, you open the season up. I understand it's a home opener on a Monday, which sucks. I wish it would have been. I know it's going to be sellout, right? Or I haven't heard of it sellout yet. But a Monday's tough.
It is.
Kids are still in school.
Yeah.
Spring break is over for the most part. This may not be a sellout. A Monday, it sucks. I mean, I'm sure the brass isn't excited about. Let's start the season on a Monday. I think they would have had a better showing if the game was in the afternoon.
Traditionally in the
Sunday?
afternoon, like they mostly are.
Like they are.
Yeah.
Let's start a 1 o'clock day game. You know, close the roof. I mean, or you could probably keep it open. It's a nice day today, but
a little hazy out there, a little
it's-
breezy.
I don't feel the buzz at all for the home opener
Well,
today.
see, that's a good point right there because last year we felt that buzz on the home opener. And you're absolutely right. What did we start the show off with today? NCAA basketball. We didn't even start with opening day.
The buzz is not there.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I think people, the reality is this team is you hope they don't, but that's all about the bullpen. You talked about the struggles offensively. See, the one thing about last year is at least they could score runs.
They were the best in the league.
They were. So we were always
24,
hoping.
25, they've led the league in runs scored.
So, and then the ERA is one of the highest in the
Here
league.
we are. We're throwing them under the bus after just
Well,
3 games.
I hope it's not deja vu all over again like we saw last year. I hope it's not. I think
Game
a lot of
4.
But I mean, last was it 2 years ago? They snuck in the back door.
They did.
Then the year after that, they got beat out in the back door. Last year, they weren't close to going to the wild card.
And again, maybe I'm just a traditional, so I'm not a fan of interleague play. To open up Detroit, it's like, all right. I know normally we open with Colorado, but it's like, bring in San Diego. Let's have San Francisco here.
I did do some research for you here, Roc. There's no official information saying if the game was sold out or not yet. However, I'm going through Ticketmaster, I'm going through Game Time, SeatGeek, and I'm seeing tickets available. I'm seeing,
Wow.
They're not necessarily
sell
super
your opener.
expensive.
Wow.
You'd have to.
It's a time of the year where you still got a shot, right?
You think that
but it's a Monday. Let's just be honest. It's a Monday.
I think
going into a week where it's Easter weekend,
Yes,
people are traveling
coming up.
later in the week, going out of town to see family or whatever. I don't know, man. I just
I would prefer it if your home opener would be against a division rival.
Yeah.
To that point, I think a lot
Home
of folks
opener,
would.
I mean,
The opener and the actual home opener, But I mean, I guess the only solace here, a lot of Michiganders in the city. A lot of those Midwest people that might show up and go watch their Detroit Tigers, who are the Tigers are
Tiger
valuable
fans
again.
You know tons of Michigan fans.
Yeah, I know maybe a
tons of Michigan
handful.
fans, but there are not a lot of Tiger.
I know
baseball fans.
just a handful of Tiger fans, mostly, and I don't know that many Lions fans. But yeah, you're right. I know a lot of Michigan, University of
Ton
Michigan,
of Michigan.
fans.
There's something about Michigan fans. Like when we were at Twin Peaks the other day, there was a group of 10 guys that were here on a golf trip. They were all from Ohio for the most part. And they were all wearing their red stuff, their Guardian stuff, their Ohio State stuff. But then the Michigan fan, the one Michigan fan is wearing the Michigan jersey and the hat.
Yeah.
It's a damn billboard. And I don't know what it is about Michigan fans.
I remember you
that
crying
they
about
always
it.
gotta they're always wearing their gear. Like they wear more gear. It's like, I don't know, maybe if you live in Michigan, part of living there, they send you a free shirt.
Part of the code, Rob.
Yeah, you get a shirt because they all wear it.
Manucci's crying about it again. Here we go.
It's the only college team that I know that they wear their stuff all the
they
time.
do. They're very
They could be
prideful.
going to church and they're wearing a Michigan shirt, and it doesn't matter where. I mean, we had a big engagement party over Saturday. The guy had a Michigan shirt on.
Is that right?
Dude, it's a freaking it was business casual or cocktail attire. You don't wear a Michigan shirt. Now, granted, they were from Michigan, sure.
Yeah.
But
And their team was in it was playing.
I know the game was
Yeah,
on
it
too,
was,
but
yeah.
come on.
Well,
you're going to a function. I had a sport coat on.
That's tacky. That's tacky. to
Wait a
wear
minute.
that.
You had a sport coat on?
Yeah. Dude, have you ever been on a
Engagement party.
meeting with me?
No.
I always have a
Rock can
sport
clean
coat.
up pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
clean up, yeah.
No, this is all I
It
ever
wasn't
get
yellow
from him.
either. It wasn't
Yeah.
yellow.
Dude, I dress so much better than you do. You
Yeah,
got
I
a
got it.
black hat with a blue shirt with a green shirt.
Well, I'm cold.
None
It's
of the
cold in
colors
here.
match.
Well, I don't care.
White headphones.
It's cold. Hey, I paid $18 for these headsets.
Kimmy must be. Is she still gone? 'Cause she didn't give me approval on that. I can guarantee you. Is she still gone? Or is she home?
$18. That's
She's
it.
home?
Yeah.
She is home?
Sorry, CC, I realized we had some sound here. We'll get to it later, hopefully.
You did not get the approval, Jimmy. Trust me.
All right, history at UConn. Pitino gets paid at St. John's. Record ratings for March Madness, and the government taking on the National Football League. Our sports shuffle is next. This is Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers deliver more air for less money. They're rust-free and backed by more than 40 years of experience keeping you cool. Available now online at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Tractor Supply. Shipped to the store or right to your door. Visit staycool-products.com. Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube. Get yours today with free shipping and beat the heat.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selection. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at wrighttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out wrighttoyota.com.
Have you ever been to Rodizio Grill? Let me tempt you. Start your Rodizio experience with our hot, unlimited appetizers. Indulge on our award-winning gourmet salad bar with over 35 items. Then, 16 delicious, sizzling rotisserie grilled meats and grilled items like our tender top sirloin and Rodizio's signature glazed pineapple, as much as you'd like. Rodizio Grill, the Brazilian steakhouse.
Located in Mesa, North Scottsdale. This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When your check engine light comes on, do you see a repair bill or do you see peace of mind? For 20 years, CarShield's been the name America trusts to help keep you on the road. While other companies stop covering you when your car gets older, CarShield offers protection plans up to 200,000 miles. With over 1 billion in claims paid, we don't just promise protection, we deliver it. Don't let a breakdown break your budget. Get the flexible month-to-month coverage you deserve. Go to carshield.com. That's carshield.com today.
Let's get back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B now on ESPN 620.
All right, the first few rounds of the men's tournament averaged over 10 million across CBS, TBS, TNT, and True TV, and all-time records. It's up 7%. It'll continue into the weekend. So the women's tournament is also up 9% year to year. And the money is following the eyeballs as the men's March Madness TV rights are paying over $1 billion this year for the first time. Damn. Speaking of getting paid, Rick Pitino is staying at St. John's. They gave him a big raise to make it official. Now, here's why it matters. 3 years ago, St. John's was nobody. Now they finished 30-7. They were ranked as high as number 5 in the country. They made the first Sweet 16 since '99. In 3 years, he is completely, that being Rick Pitino, has completely transformed this program. And he just doesn't lose much in March. In 14 trips to Sweet 16 over his career, he has only lost twice in the second weekend. That's almost impossible. He's packing Madison Square Garden, which, of course, is the most famous arena in the world. He's bringing energy to New York basketball, and they haven't seen that in a long time because the Knicks have always sucked. So But even though they won
It's a
some
reason.
they won some stupid midseason thing,
They did, yeah, the tournament.
they're going to
The
probably
NBA
put up a banner for it. He's 73 years old. Just got his second biggest coaching contract in the Big East, running one of the hottest programs. So some people are starting to say scandals and all, and Rick Pitino just might be one of the greatest men's college basketball coach who ever lived. 4 different programs. He has taken them to the Sweet 16.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty remarkable. So he isn't going anywhere, and New York basketball is back. So the bottom line is St. John's, they're investing in the NIL to keep the sport a reality, a new reality, that is, and they're betting on Pitino to keep the building. So if you're a New York fan, basketball fan, this is great news for you.
You got to wonder if they that particular diocese, before he took that job, got the commitment for them that he can go get the guys.
Yeah.
He can pay them. And obviously, the way they've done the last 3 years, he must have got that commitment and then to stay there. So you know that the whatever diocese they are, whatever they fall under, they've got the money. It's just a matter of him saying, look, I will take this job if ... And I'm glad to see that he's brought it back to relevant there.
So let's talk UConn, because this is one of the best stories in sports right now. Yesterday, UConn beat Duke at the buzzer. We all know that. Earlier in the day, the women, they blew out Notre Dame. So both the programs are in the Final Four. This is the 6th time in their school history that's happened. No school has done it 6 times, not even close. But here's the part that nobody's talking about, the money story behind it. When college sports went to revenue sharing, it's where schools can now pay their athletes directly. Most of the basketball schools, specifically the Big East, had a huge advantage because they don't have football. They could put all their money into hoops. UConn is the only Big East school that has a football program. So they were stuck trying to fund everything, and football and 2 elite basketball programs on the same budget. They were having some issues. So what do? They went to the fans, they went to the donors and said, we need help. And the donors stepped up in a big way. Their AD, who we will have on the show probably later in the week,
David Benedict,
who's a tight buddy of Manuch, said he couldn't even list all the names because he was afraid of leaving someone out.
Wow.
They also paid for 2 of the best coaches in the country, of course, with Dan Hurley, 6 years, $50 million. And remember, the Lakers tried to poach him 2 years ago. He stayed. You wonder why. And then Gino, of course, on the women's side, he's the greatest college basketball coach, women's college basketball coach of all time. So now they get to play, the men get to play Illinois and Indianapolis. The women get to come right here to Phoenix. So you got 1 school, 2 Final Fours. They do it the hard way, but what a great story that is.
The donors stepping up big time. It's amazing that you see that on a consistent basis with the men and women's on a consistent basis. By the way, are the women like 36-0 now?
They're unbelievable. Gino Auriemma, and you referenced this, maybe the best coach ever in women's basketball. He's one of the best coaches in basketball, period. And he had lots of offers to jump to men's programs, and he never left because he found his niche that he was comfortable in, and all he does is win.
Turn our attention to the NFL. You know how NFL games keep disappearing behind all these streaming services, right? You have to pay for them. So if you want to watch every NFL game this season, you're looking at about $1,500 a year in streaming costs.
Really?
So the government's getting involved. Washington has had enough. The head of the FCC was on Fox and Friends this weekend, and he said the NFL is pushing it too far. In his words, he said, you effectively have to have a computer science degree to figure out where to watch these games. Now, here's what's at stake. So if you remember back, you'll remember this, Jimmy. Back in 1961, Congress gave the NFL a special legal protection that lets all 32 teams sell their TV rights together as one package. It was a massive financial advantage. The FCC chair said on Fox News, he said that the FCC chair is now warning, keep hiding games behind paywalls, and that protection goes away.
Wow.
We'll have to see with the NFL how they respond to this. But, you know, there's so many streaming services. You know, they tell you to cut the cord, which I never did.
I've neither.
Me either. I think cable is the best business, best form of watching television. I'm sorry.
I second
YouTube
that
TV,
motion.
you can't even get Channel 3 and watch Dieback.
There you go. There you go.
And, you know, the young generation, the Lazes and the CCs, they all have the streaming services.
Yes.
And if you add up all these streaming services, you're spending like, you know, hundreds of dollars it's ridiculous.
Here's the thing. I think the conundrum might be for the FCC is that the NFL's multi-billion-dollar industry. That do you want to go poke the bear with a multi-billion-dollar industry? And I know what he's trying to do is like you're trying to. It seems like somewhat of a monopoly.
He's trying to reel him in a little.
Well,
bit.
he is, but it's a monopoly. But he can also throw out antitrust violations too. But he also look at it. But in the meantime, he's got to realize what those economies do for those cities. Now, I understand if he can get something under control, they can negotiate. The owners might say, "Hey, we have every right to do this," and let you literally pass an act in Congress that prevents us from doing it.
Manuch, last week I talked about the preseason games being streamed.
And that's
where the NFL teams are going to be able to sell the streaming rights for preseason games.
Okay, and so the NFL come back and say, "Look, this is free market trade. We can do whatever we want to do."
I agree with that.
So
That's fair. I'm all over that.
So I think what the NFL, what he's trying to say, and I'll give him credit, is, "Hey, look, wait a second. You guys are going overboard." What do you mean we're going overboard? We can do what we want with the NFL. If we want to stream preseason, we'll do preseason. Our other stuff is you can find during the week on Prime or whatever. So I just think that'd be a tough hill for him to climb to prevent any of that.
I'm with you on that, but I also agree with the fact that it's getting out of control. And I know both you guys have cable.
Free trade.
I have DirecTV. I like it because I can flip to 5 or 6 different events within just a second. You can't do that on streaming. You have to get out of one streaming service, go to the next streamings. It's awful. It's the worst.
Well, what he's saying is they're trying to monopolize.
Oh, I know
that everything eventually will be. He and I agree with this. He wants to make sure that not all of the NFL product is on streaming.
Yeah.
And Joe Q Public, who can't afford streaming, all the other venues or forums that are out there, and this just got regular TV.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope the NFL 10 years from now doesn't get carried away with this.
I would be highly upset if they leave over-the-air TV. If they go away from Fox Sports and CBS and ABC and NBC,
sure.
That would just, to me, that would just be awesome.
That's how bad what Netflix did with opening day baseball.
Oh, it was terrible.
People hated it.
Yeah. All it was a commercial for Netflix.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for us, I think it's going down that road. Unless they can stop it.
Well, the NFL season doesn't start on September 10th this year, which is a Thursday. It starts on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And it'll be on Peacock and NBC.
It'll be
but
Thursday.
then Thursday, it'll be Rams and 49ers from Australia.
Yeah.
And I believe that it will be streamed.
Because it'll be Friday over in Australia.
Over there, there's over 151,000 people that are on a waiting list. A waiting list. How about that?
For the tickets in Australia?
For the Rams 49ers.
Wow. Speaking of some future scheduling, guys, this is coming out right now at ESPN. Adam Schefter reporting the Super Bowl is returning to Las Vegas in 2029 per source. It's now been officially approved today at the owners' meeting.
Doesn't shock me.
Why are you telling us that? Because you're moving to Vegas?
Yeah, no, it's because
He's working there. Breaking news. It'd be breaking news if it was coming back to Phoenix, but now no one cares about Vegas.
4 hours away. I know people in this city who drive to Vegas every other weekend.
No way.
On a Friday night.
Degenerates. Yes.
They are what you want to call them. I'm not the one who said that.
Vegas just had it 2 years ago.
I know.
They got it again 29.
Dude, they got rooms.
They got
and
yes.
It's perfect for Super Bowl. It
is.
He could almost be there every year.
I would agree.
Yeah.
It really could.
They're in New Orleans.
And the environment there is great.
I've been to the New Orleans Super Bowl. It's okay. I'm not.
You think it's worn out its welcome? I mean,
Stadium is so old. Okay, it's Superdome, and then or Mercedes calls it now, right? But
Bourbon
there's some pretty bad areas around Bourbon.
I know.
Oh yeah,
there are.
Don't go down the wrong
stay on that
alleyway.
strip.
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, I like it. I was there, Bourbon Street, maybe 3 years ago for an LSU game. Stayed in New Orleans. That's a long drive down to LSU, but Baton Rouge. But Super Bowl, I can't remember what Super Bowl was, but I know it was Rams. It was Kurt Warner. That's Super Bowl that was there. But I think it was there. I don't know. I can't remember what I did yesterday.
No, are you talking Cardinals? Are you talking Cardinals Super Bowl?
No, I never go to
Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Tampa. That was in Tampa.
All right. Anyway, we're going to move on. All right, because Casey Jacobsen is going to join us. By the way, the Sports Shuffle, when it's game times, it is Big's time. Big's American Bar and Grill in Peoria, one of the best spots. in the Valley for great food, cold drinks, and wall-to-wall sports. You can check them out all weekend long, all week long, Biggs in Peoria at the P83s. All right, the Madness of March has delivered. The Final Four is set. Casey Jacobsen, the former Stanford Cardinal, Fox Sports, FS1. He will join us right after another ESPN 620 update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The Arizona Diamondbacks home opener is tonight at Chase Field as they welcome the Detroit Tigers to town for the start of a 3-game set. Michael Soroka takes the mound for Arizona while Justin Verlander makes his return to Detroit and will get the ball for the Tigers. First pitch is set for 7:10 with pregame coverage beginning at 6:30 on 98.7 FM and streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. On the hardwood, the Phoenix Suns head to Memphis to take on the shorthanded Memphis Grizzlies. Tip-off for that one is at 5 with pregame coverage starting at 4 right here on ESPN 620 AM and also streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. Here's your perfect national championship plan. Get to DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale early and catch us live from 1 to 4 p.m. Then don't move because the Natty kicks off right after. One great spot, one great day. We will see you there at DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale.
When it's game time in the Valley, you know what time it is. It's Twin Peaks time. Head to Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations and massive screens everywhere you look. From basketball, baseball, to hockey, fights, and more, there's no better place to catch every play and all the action. Bud Light is a proud partner of sports fans everywhere. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views. The road to the championship ends Monday, April 6th, and the place to watch it is DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale with Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B on ESPN 620. Join us from 1 till 4 p.m. as we break down the matchup, the betting angles, and everything you need before tip-off of the big championship game. Cold drinks, big screens, and the best sports crowd in the Valley. Come hang with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live Monday at DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale. The championship game deserves a championship setting.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Being in an auto accident is traumatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
When your check engine light comes on, do you see a repair bill or do you see peace of mind? For 20 years, CarShield's been the name America trusts to help keep you on the road. While other companies stop covering you when your car gets older, CarShield offers protection plans up to 200,000 miles. With over $1 billion in claims paid, we don't just promise protection, we deliver it. Don't let a breakdown break your budget. Get the flexible month-to-month coverage you deserve. Go to carshield.com. That's carshield.com today.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-290-7100. That's 800-290-7100.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620.
Let it cut and run through the ball. Who better than this guy? Get it in the Boozer. Back for Sar. Ahead. Boozer. That ball deflected. It's stolen by Mullins. Caravan, 2 seconds. Mullins tosses it out. It's gone. We're 4-3. You try to go
Oh, Casey Jacobsen joins us here on ESPN Radio Phoenix. Casey, you just heard it. Braylon Mullins, the UConn, the game winner. You've been in those moments as a player. You cover the game every day. When a kid hits a shot like that in March, what is going through his body right now? Take us back. How does that feel to be at that level? Because you were at that level.
Well, thanks for having me on, guys. While I might have been at that level, I didn't hit a shot to send us to the Final Four. So what Braylon Mullins did is on a totally other level, where honestly there might be only a handful of living human beings that actually know what that is like. But yeah, I've hit some big shots and buzzer beaters in my day. If I could talk about that play like real quick, kind of a breakdown of it. So let's just talk it from the UConn side, and if you guys want to talk about the Duke side of it too, we can do that. But what I find most interesting is the plan for UConn was to foul. How do I know that? Because there is like actual video on the sideline of Dan Hurley shouting, not in a huddle, he's shouting to his players on the floor, "We are going to foul." And we're going to foul specifically Dame Sarr or Patrick Gongba, who are on the floor, who are bad foul shooters. Well, they don't foul because Duke inbounds the ball to, I believe it was Cameron Boozer first, very good foul shooter, throws it to his brother Caden Boozer, who's an 81% foul shooter. So I think the UConn players were like, the two guys you mentioned haven't touched the ball yet. We're not actually sure what to do. It should have been just you get your ball to a good free throw shooter for Duke and you just hold it. Because the clock will run out and you force UConn's hand. That didn't happen. And I think the fact that the good free throw shooters for Duke that got the ball helped UConn. They would have fouled if it weren't for the fact that the Boozer twins were good shooters. So you get a deflection. And then here's the other thing I want to talk about, okay? So Braylon Mullins gets the deflection. He's got no rhythm in this game. He's 0 for 4 from 3 in the game against Duke. He's 4 for 23 on the tournament from 3. Dude's like in his head a little bit, lacks a teeny bit of confidence, and is like happily throws the ball up the floor to Alex Caravan. Hey, Alex, you take it. You hit a big shot like a minute ago from 3. Why don't you do it? And then he kind of jogs up the floor. Braylon Mullins had no idea that the ball was going to be shoveled back to him. And the last thing I want to mention is, and this is the reason why I talk about it. As a former shooter, I know what it's like to kind of not have confidence and like be like, hey, I might not be the best person to take a shot in this moment right now. I have no rhythm. But when Alex Caravan shovels the ball back to Mullins, he has no choice but to shoot it. The shot clock, game clock is low. And in those moments, it's really important to recognize that all thought and all doubt, it happens so fast. You're not even allowed to think or to doubt yourself. You just have to catch it and let that thing fly. And I think that was the perfect circumstance for Braylon Mullins, who really I don't think was very confident up until that moment. And he just caught it and said, I have to shoot it. Here it goes. And it was bob on the net. Incredible.
Oh, great stuff there, Casey. Casey Jacobsen joining us here on ESPN Radio Phoenix. All right. Is there a team left in this Final Four you think genuinely is peaking at the right time?
Well, I think Michigan's been my favorite all season long. Okay. They have given me no reason to back off of them. However, I will say the rise of Arizona in this tournament and the way they kind of just dismantle teams has really been impressive. So I know there's already a narrative going around that this Arizona-Michigan game is like the de facto national championship game. And I would, to that, I know you didn't ask me that specific question, but let me just say, like, two things can be true at the same time, right? One is these are the two best teams in college basketball, period. Like, significantly. These are the two best teams. That can be true. While also the second thing can be true is whoever wins between Michigan and Arizona is going to have to play a very good team that can beat them in a one-game scenario. I'm not going to ever say that the winner of a Final Four semifinal game is going to be the national champion. That's silly. That's stupid. And you'll get burnt if you do that. However, it is totally normal and actually accurate to say that Arizona and Michigan are significantly better, have shown that throughout the course of the season better than UConn and Illinois. That's true.
And Casey, watching Michigan, I mean, you watch them all year. They're good. But we were talking about earlier, at least I thought they showed not only their shooting prowess, but more athleticism. Maybe in this Tennessee game. I mean, they really stepped it up. Now I watched the Michigan State game 3 weeks ago. Wow, okay, physical bully ball, right? But I didn't see this kind of athleticism in the last few games by Michigan. It's like they're getting a brand new aura with their athletes, the way they get up and down the court.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And if I can kind of couple Arizona in this as well. So that I've been a member of the media now this is my 12th season, guys, and I'm not going to exaggerate. I don't like to do that. So I'm going to say something that's actually true to me personally. This is the most excited I have ever been for any one particular college basketball game in my 12 years.
Nice.
And the reason why is what you guys just touched on. We're talking about teams that are massive, like huge teams and athletic. Do you guys understand how unusual that is to have a team that's massive and athletic and physical? Like normally you can have a really tall team, but they're kind of slow. You can have a tall team, but they lack heart. You can have a tall team, but like whatever. Yeah, they're not physical. Both of these teams have front courts. Well, so let's talk about Michigan. Daimara, yeah, he's skinny, but he's physical, man, and he's an amazing shot blocker, the best shot blocker in the country. Yaxel Lindeberg can guard 1 through 5, literally. Morez Johnson is a rebounding machine, and nobody bullies him. And I can say the same about Koa Pete, Mo Krivas, and Tobe Awaka when he comes in off the bench. He's a human wrecking ball. I mean, something's got to give in this game, man. It's just so awesome to have these two teams and the athleticism flying all over the place. Whoever wins the battle of the boards, yeah, good for you, but you're also going to have a bloody nose. Get them some gauze after the game.
Casey, my question is a follow-up then to what you're just discussing, and that is when you look at both of these teams, they are both international. In other words, they have gone across the pond to find Euro players and players from Australia or wherever.
The Balkans.
Yeah, the Balkans, yeah. To join your team. What has happened here then in your estimation to the American player as opposed now to major schools going after the Euro player?
It's a great question and an easy one to answer. Well, first I'll say that while we have a lot of Europeans in college basketball, most of the best players in this Final Four will still be American. Let's say that. But here's what's happened. I played 8 years in Europe, and the way they do it in Europe is totally different. I'm not going to talk about that. It'll take 5 minutes. What I will say is the NIL component now, like where college basketball is now a professional league, I would argue that college basketball is the second best professional league in the world outside of the NBA. There are a lot of European players who would never even think about coming over and playing for college because they don't get paid. Why am I going to give up $100,000 salary playing in my home country? Sometimes it's more than $100,000, but just throwing out that number. It's not crazy. These guys aren't making millions per year in Europe. They're making $100,000, $200,000. There's no way they would forego that to come to play at Arizona. That's just not going to happen. However, if you're offering a European guy $500,000, they're like, oh yeah, definitely. I can go to America, play for $500,000, play on national TV in front of NBA scouts. Yeah, check mark that. That's why we've had an influx of European talent. That's why Brad Underwood, the head coach at Illinois, has gotten all these guys. And we're seeing a lot of, not only that guy, but we're seeing a lot of Europeans who are like 23 years old. And they're freshmen because they've never played college basketball before, but they're freshmen who have played professional basketball for the last 5 years. So they're already ready-made stars. So it's great for college basketball. I'm glad it's happening. Let's all just sit back and enjoy it.
And Casey, the development of these young guys, do they go to they play? I know a lot of them go play soccer early on. They go to these basketball schools early on over in Europe, what have you. What is it about their game, if there is any difference between the Americans growing up and their game coming into college?
Oh, yeah. They go to these basketball academies. Now, I can't speak for every single continent, right? I played in Europe, so all the countries in Europe, I kind of know how the system works. If you are a prodigy, if you've shown some flashes of being a young, talented player, they will take you and put you in a basketball academy, whether that be in Spain or Germany or Italy. It doesn't matter. and they go to school, but basketball is the biggest part of their curriculum, if you want to call it that. They get training every day, and then here's the big buffer. So obviously that's a big part. It'd be like having 4 periods of PE and 3 periods of academic as a young player.
Sign me up.
Sign me up. Right? Yeah. Sign me up for that too. I mean, I went to Stanford. I like school and stuff, but I like basketball a lot more than I like school. So I'd have been all for that. But just imagine how much better you would be. That's number one. And then the number 2, which is even just as important as the first factor I mentioned, which is when these young athletes train in Europe, they are not sectioned off. You're a big, you're a point guard, you're a shooting guard. That is not how it works there. They take bigs and they work on ball handling every day. They take big guys and they work on form shooting and perimeter shooting every day. Now, big guys are going to be a little bit slower and they're not going to be as great ball handling, but they work on it. They're not like, hey, bigs, you get down in the low block and just set screens all day. That is not how it works. And so because of that, you get bigs and wings who are multifaceted, who can do all kinds of things offensively. That's how it works.
All right, last one, Casey. Coaches win championships in March. Coaches win championships in March. Who's the best coach left in the tournament?
Well, I would say that Dan Hurley is probably the best coach left in the tournament, but I would say I think that UConn's the worst team. Like up the floor, I think his players are the worst collection, and they're really not playing well. Even though that the last 5 minutes of that Duke game was incredible, UConn hasn't played all that inspiring to me. So I think what Dan Hurley's done is incredible, but I just think what Dusty May has done with his group and given them an identity on both ends of the floor. This is a Michigan team that isn't one-sided. It's not like they have to score 85 or 90 points to beat you. They can score 60 and beat you. If they score 85, you're going to get blown out by 20. I can almost guarantee that, right? It's just they play both ends of the floor, and that is part of coaching and culture. So I have a lot of respect for what Dusty May has done with this group. Specifically, it's a pretty new group that he's had with a lot of transfers.
All right, as we let you go, you're going to be doing the Crown Tournament in Vegas on Fox and FS1. Who do you like in this one? I saw Baylor, Colorado, Creighton, Minnesota, OU, Rutgers, Stanford. Oh, Stanford and West Virginia. Are you allowed to predict?
Oh, yeah. I'm allowed to predict. I'm also allowed to openly root for my alma mater, Stanford. I have Stanford getting to the finals, but I do not have Stanford winning it.
Okay.
I have Oklahoma. Oklahoma, to me, is the favorite in this tournament. For one particular reason, they're old, and their 2 best players are seniors. I think it's important in a tournament like the Crown, where these teams haven't played in 2 weeks, and some of these guys are hopping in the portal. These seniors aren't hopping in the portal. They are trying to finish their career out with a win.
Yeah.
And that's what Nebraska did last year. Nebraska won the Crown last year. Their 2 best players, Bryce Williams and Juwan Gary, were both seniors, and they won the tournament. That's why I think Oklahoma is the team to beat here. They have Nigel Pack and Kay Davis are their 2 best players, both seniors.
Casey, you do tremendous work, man. Thanks for jumping on with us, man. We always appreciate you being on your hometown radio station here. So appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you guys. Have a good week.
You guys, Casey Jacobsen. You can follow him on X, CJacobsen23, Westwood One Radio, as well as FS1. The Hardwood Report, which is powered by Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Now featured every Thursday at all 5 Valley Twin Peaks locations. You can watch all the games and baseball, hockey, basketball, it's all there, and you can enjoy 29-degree Bud Lights. That's Twin Peaks. 5 Valley locations will be at the Deer Valley location on Thursday. All right, we got a little police blotter. 3 former Ohio State players facing some serious prison time as someone stole $4 million pretending to be an NFL player. I'll tell you what that's all about next.
Now open in North Scottsdale. It's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country, with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com.
Swing into Vans Golf Shops to get fit for the new Ping I-540 irons and G740 irons. The new Ping I-540 distance irons deliver more speed for more distance with stopping power. The G740 Super Game Improvement irons launch higher for more distance, more forgiveness, and more consistency. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
When tragedy strikes, the impact is immediate and devastating. That's when the 100 Club of Arizona steps in, providing financial assistance, guidance, and emotional support to the families of public safety officers injured or killed in the line of duty. They also invest in mental health resources, injury prevention, and scholarships for the children of first responders. Every day, Arizona's public safety professionals put their lives on the line. The 100 Club of Arizona has their back. Learn more at 100club.org. Another Arizona storm season's rolling through. Before the next big downpour hits, call State 48 Roofing for your free roof inspection. Whether it's cracked tiles, flat roofs, or old shingles, don't wait for leaks to show up. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer, trusted for over a decade in both residential and commercial roofing. Protect your home, protect your business with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509 today.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Attorney Kevin Rowe. Getting rear-ended once is bad enough. Don't let the insurance company hit you again with a lowball offer. Call an experienced attorney who knows how to fight and win. Call Lerner and Rowe today. 977-1900. 977-1900.
Let's get back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B now on ESPN 620.
All right, Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B from the studios of ESPN Radio in Phoenix here. Some college football weekend news and notes. You may have seen this. Big win for Ole Miss. Their quarterback, Trinidad Chambliss, arguably the best returning quarterback in college football, got a 6-year of eligibility last week. Approved by a Mississippi court. The NCAA tried to block it twice. They got shot down again by a judge who said the NCAA acted in bad faith. Chambliss threw for nearly 4,000 yards last year, ran for 500 more, and of course led Ole Miss to their first ever college football playoff. So he's coming back. Ole Miss is going to be a little dangerous with
it.
It
was the Mississippi Supreme Court. Yeah. The lower court. NCAA appeals it.
Yeah.
And the Mississippi Supreme Court voted, I think it was 2-3 in favor of staying the course.
We had a good laugh about that, saying, "Oh, come on, you know they're getting paid off to approve this guy."
That's my boy.
Come on, it's the South.
That's my boy Trinidad.
Yeah.
He's not going anywhere.
Lane Kiffin's first spring in charge is underway at LSU, and former Sun Devil Sam Levitt has a foot injury, which is still limiting him to any individual drills or 7-on-7 work, but not the team period, so he's doing some of those. But a couple of the other guys are getting some extra reps, but he is slated to be the starter there at LSU if his his foot can
He must have been worse than everybody.
Oh,
thought.
I'm with you.
I mean, if he's not healed by now, and at least going through, he can kind of sort of go through the walkthroughs what he's doing right now. That thing must have been a fracture or a break or something. And those bones in your feet do take a long time, but boy.
Ask Bill Walton.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he suffered for years. Yeah, years and years.
Programs across the country are deep in the 15 practice spring window. Of course, the NFL draft is April 23rd to the 25th. The pro days are wrapping up. So keep an eye on some of that as these spring games are coming up over the next few weeks across the Power Four. Some battles in Alabama with their quarterbacks, with Austin Mack and Keelan Russell, and of course Texas with Arch Manning entering his second full year as a starter, and they're hoping for some national title expectations there for the folks in Austin there. But got some police blotter to jump into. Packer safety Xavier McKinney, who did absolutely nothing wrong here, is at the center of a wild fraud case. Someone impersonated him and convinced a lender to hand over $4.5 million. Whoa. The timing was just perfect for this thief. McKinney had just signed a $67 million contract 2 weeks earlier. The FBI gets involved. The fake McKinney hasn't even been caught yet.
Wow.
The broker who set up the loan is getting sued.
No kidding.
McKinney is the victim here, obviously, but somebody had enough of his personal information to pull this off, which is terrifying. I'm in the middle of, I just bought a house.
Right, yeah.
And I know how damn hard and what a horrible experience it's been to get the mortgage and get a loan and all that crap. I can't imagine all the stuff you have to do to get them to get to the point to give you the money. I don't know how this loan officer's absolute idiot.
How does that happen?
Get that far?
You got to give them every piece of information.
Yeah, you do.
And ID, photo ID, whatever. How does somebody walk in there? You can have all the information. How about like a photo ID? I mean, how about that? That's amazing when you hear something like that.
$4.5 million.
And the
all right, $50,000, $100,000, but $4.5 million.
Well, I got to imagine these guys got the guy on camera too. If you're in this investment firm where you're at, but I mean, how about the cojones that this guy had to have to be the imposter?
Those guys at that point, they don't care.
Yeah, they probably don't. They got.
I can't believe, Rock, they haven't caught him.
Have you ever been impersonated, Rock? Anybody ever tried to use the Mike Morocco? How about you, Jimmy B?
You want to do that?
I get people trying to do my voice all the time.
When was the last time? Give me one time that's happened.
What?
You're just like Manuch. You make up stories.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
You just
I'm
did
not
always.
a
When was the last time?
Not a make-up story.
When was the last time?
Probably a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Did you catch him?
No, come on. You're at the refreshment stand.
Yeah.
You're Jimmy B. I can do your voice.
Twice in Buffalo.
Yep.
Had an incident where somebody.
This is why he wanted to ask, because he wanted to tell us about
but it was out there even then. It's just kind of like until you prove that wasn't you.
Yes.
Yeah, and I had to do that in both these situations. We had the guy at McKinley Park Inn say, "Hey, Danny, did you talk to so and so? This gal who was there, worked there, because she said you did this and this." I said, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
So he goes, so he sent me to go see her. So I went and see her, say, "Hey, I'm Dan." She goes, "Oh, it wasn't you." So that was one thing. I had to prove that.
Wow.
Because, that owner of that particular hotel, I didn't want his boys coming after me. And then here in us, there was the Wranglers. I went to a establishment here, 16th Street in Highland. There's an old bar there. You remember, big bar. And the guy comes up, he goes, there was a guy here that we're saying you owe us like $50. I said, for what? He said, ran up a tab. So I said, I wasn't here. So I had to go prove to him in person that wasn't me. That was the Wranglers. I mean, that's small town potatoes.
That is.
I'm backing up for crying out loud. Why don't you go after Alan Mercer? Go after the starters. Yeah. Go after the starters, man. Why are you dragging me into this stuff? It happens, but not like that kind of magnitude.
Well, I was really rough on Michigan earlier, and I was going to talk about 3 former Ohio State players facing some serious surprise in time, but no time for that. You can Google it. All right. We're going to catch up with former Northern Arizona head basketball coach Mike Adras. We'll chat Elite 8, Arizona's ride. But first, we'll talk some V-backs. Home opener tonight. What must they do to get their first win of this young season? It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN Radio Phoenix. We're on FM at 98.7 HD-2, YouTube, and the Arizona Sports app. 3 o'clock hour underway. Just minutes.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications the top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices. That can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She can get a deal. Book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Mania is here, and there's only one place to catch every buzzer beater, every upset, every bracket buster. Twin Peaks. Watch all the action on wall-to-wall TVs with made-from-scratch favorites and the ultimate game day atmosphere, featuring Michelob Ultra all tournament long. Whether your bracket's still perfect or completely busted, Twin Peaks is your headquarters for the madness. Join us at any of the 5 Valley locations: Deer Valley, Phoenix, Glendale, Scottsdale, and Tempe. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620. And now, an on-air sports marketing presentation. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2, and streaming live at arizonasports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
It's been 21 years for the Illini, but finally, the road will take them to Indianapolis. Illinois is going to the Final Four. Hail, hail to Michigan. The Wolverines are on to the Final Four. Donning that the new uniform. Tonight at San Jose, it's an Arizona story. Tommy Lloyd and the Arizona Wildcats are headed to the Final Four. Let it cut and run through the ball. And who better than this guy? Get it into Boozer, back for Sar, ahead. Boozer, that ball deflected and stolen by Mullins. Caravan, 2 seconds. Mullins tosses it out. Ah! It's done. We're pulling 3. Utah goes in front.
You can hear that over and over and over. Its Final Four is set, of course. Arizona going to Indy for the first time in 25 years. A bunch of freshmen who don't know what pressure is. They came back from 7 down at halftime against Purdue and took over 79-64. The drought is over in Tucson. They draw Michigan on Saturday, who blew out Tennessee by 33. Of course, you just heard UConn knocking off Duke at the buzzer to get us here. What a weekend. Of course, Illinois is in the mix as well. Not a lot of people talking about Illinois. It'd be interesting if they can get by UConn, which they could.
Yeah, they can.
And then it's Illinois, either Arizona or Michigan, which would be interesting. D-backs come home tonight for the Chase Field home opener. 0-3 in L.A. against the Dodgers. Justin Verlander of the Tigers takes the ball for Detroit. Michael Soroka for Arizona. The crowd hopefully will need to be loud. The D-backs need to get on the winning column, in the winning column. Hopefully there'll be a good crowd. Monday, it's tough to draw a home opener on Monday. No buzz. We'll dive more into that. Speaking of Verlander, kind of a homecoming for him. He spent his best years of his career in Detroit. And you Tiger fans, the 3 of you, know exactly who this man is. However, how long he goes tonight is going to be a moment. And then the Suns, in about 2 hours, they'll be playing Memphis. They're heavy favorites in this one. Good news on the injury front. Dylan Brooks, Mark Williams both played 5-on-5 for the first time on Saturday. They could be back as early as Thursday. Big week ahead for Phoenix basketball. Now the NFL meetings, which are here at the Biltmore this week. Replacement referees may be coming as the league is preparing for a lockout. Training starts May 1st for these refs. The CBA expires May 31st. You may remember the Fail Mary in 2012. So we could be heading back there. So in this hour, Mike Aegis will join us at 3:30. We'll break down the Final Four. So a packed hour as we are coming to you live from the ESPN Radio 620 studios. Got the full team here with Jimmy B and Manuch and Laz and CC. So we are here at the studios where no one is here today.
No,
it's
they're
opening
all at
day.
the game.
Arizona Sports carries the game. We'll have the Suns here on ESPN 620.
Right.
But the Diamondbacks, of course, will be on the mothership. And I think everybody, part of the deal, did you guys get an invite?
No.
No email, no invites.
No. CC over there eat. That's BS.
Oh, I thought that was a phone
This is last week.
What,
That's
a broadcast.
why. Oh, yeah. That's BS.
You're never supposed to eat during a broadcast.
I remember Kent Durdevanis told me that.
Yeah.
You never eat
anybody
ever
ever.
The show.
And then if you're eating in front of us, why not bring it for everybody?
It's a 3-hour show. What else is he doing? Why wouldn't he eat before you get here?
I don't know. He's a big boy. He needs to eat. He's 6'8", 235.
I just
230.
Come on. 230. I'm 230.
Yeah, come on, dude.
The thing that bothers me is I like Jimmy John.
So do I. That's what I'm saying. If you're going to eat in front of everybody, bring some for everybody from that standpoint. Yes. U of A fans, our resident U of A alumnus Laz back there, a little nervous being down by 7 points at halftime. And I think those are some of the things that you kind of watch and said, okay, U of A, you had about a week off. Let's kick it in. Let's turn this thing on. And then and you saw them turn it on. You saw them get back to who they are, the athleticism, the rebounding, the moving the ball, Koa Pete, the freshmen stepping up like they have. You got Bradley, Waka. You saw the seniors stepping up. It really was, when you watch that second half, that's the U of A team I think everybody is used to seeing, to have that 7-point deficit and then to basically just turn it around and just lay the wood on this Purdue team.
I can tell you this right now is if they open up and play the first half the way they did against Purdue, Michigan's going to blow their doors off.
Yeah,
they're going to have to come right from the gate and be ready to go against this Michigan team, because Michigan matches up against them better than anybody else in college basketball. Better than anybody. They have a 7-foot center who can really play.
And run.
And rebound. And I believe he's the leading block shot center in college basketball. Mara is his name. And he's a terrific player. Then you're going to have to see what Koa Pete does against a player who is of similar size and athleticism to Koa Pete. this has got the makings of being, and I know we have the other game as well with Illinois and UConn, but I cannot wait for Arizona.
It really does seem like this is the de facto national.
It feels
title,
like it,
not?
yes.
And that's going to be a lot of the interest for a lot of fans is can the Cats match the physicality? They can match the athleticism. They're not the 3-point shooters.
No.
Michigan's not a great three-pointing shooting team as well either. But just to watch U of A to see what they did without the 3-point shooting, as far as points in the paint, getting up and down the floor, the steals, the aggressiveness, and then just kind of taking that game over. But this Michigan U of A game, it's going to be must watch.
I agree.
Finesse versus physicality, Jimmy?
It's going to be physical against physical.
Dude, I can't look at you, Jimmy, because right behind you in the glass, he's eating that sandwich.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I'm glad I'm not seeing him.
I mean,
this is good.
It's such.
Is your mouth watering over there, Roc?
Jimmy John's?
I would love it, Jimmy John's right now.
Italian,
sure.
American.
Little something.
Yeah, give me a little
oil, vinegar, a little oregano.
Yeah, man. Give me
Salt,
pepperoni
pepper.
and some Swiss cheese.
This Illinois.
Swiss cheese is the worst.
Oh, no.
And then there's Illinois, right? Size matters. Coach Underwood.
It always matters.
You know, Coach Underwood's a K-State grad. He played in under Jack Hartman back in the mid-'80s.
Wow.
And he played way back in the day.
Look at you.
Oh, yeah. So we're proud, but I got this Illinois team in UConn. But just imagine 2 versus 3, and you just see they're big. I mean,
they are.
But first one to 55 in this game
I'd like to be big if I had something to eat.
As much as I would love to have helped everybody out, this is a 3-day-old sandwich. So don't feel like I just went and got one down the street.
Just heat it
this
up.
Is something I'm in the middle of having to load up U-Hauls, a box up stage. It's not fun being the only guy in the house. You take a sandwich to go. You take a sandwich to go.
You obviously didn't put any cheese on that because you need some cheese to go with that wine. Cheese. It doesn't matter. Just remember that, CC. You don't burn bridges. He's leaving us, going on to bigger and better things.
Go on to Vegas.
And, we'll remember, can you give us a reference? No.
I will say it was an ill-advised time probably for the sub.
What?
Ill-advised time for the sandwich.
Couldn't wait for another hour?
Fuck, at least let Roc leave before you did.
That's
all right.
great.
To Manuch's point, I couldn't tell you the last time I've ever been 230 pounds.
I was going to say,
exactly. Like freshman year of high school.
Thank you, Connor.
You were in 8th grade. You were 230, right?
Offensive lineman. All right, Suns on Saturday came out blazing, never looked back. They erupted for 39 points in the first quarter. They led at halftime 73-45. Of course, Utah's tanking, which is such BS. But Phoenix did shoot 50% from the field. Absolutely owned the paint. 66 points in the paint. They shot close to 75% at the rim. They dominated the glass, 21 offensive boards. They're playing a JV team.
Pretty much.
Bench, they chipped in 58. They had 29 assists on 52 made baskets. I mean, everything was going good. Grayson Allen led the way, 19 points. He had 4 threes, added 3 assists and a couple steals. Oso, 6 for 6 for 13 points and 8 boards. And yeah, I mean, a lot of guys jumped on board, and they'll have Memphis tonight. They should have no trouble with Memphis either.
They're tanking.
They're tanking, and all their guys are hurt.
Yeah.
So, this is an opportunity for them to continue winning some games. They need to, 9 games left or something like that. So
things get more difficult, though, after you get through these first 2.
Yeah, that's true. But Jalen Green's been playing all right. I mean, since Brooks went down.
Sure
but
did.
I don't think he's developed the same chemistry with like Devin Booker and Brooks had.
Well,
those 2 guys are great together. I would have loved to seen all 3 where this team would be.
One of the reasons
been around.
Yeah, I was just going to say, he's only played 26 games.
Yeah.
So people have forgotten about that. So that remains an issue, but you're hoping that they get a little tighter as the season winds down.
One more note. This has absolutely nothing to do with the Suns or any of the local teams, but we used to be a hockey city.
Yeah.
And a couple notes that really don't get mentioned much in this market, but a historic week on the ice. This one is incredible, and we haven't touched it, but Alex Ovechkin scored his 1,000th combined career goal, regular season and playoffs, joining Wayne Gretzky as the only 2 players in the NHL history to reach this mark. he hit a milestone on March 22nd against Colorado on a power play one-timer. It was clocked at 93.7 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Then just days later, he scores a hat trick against the former Coyotes, Utah, recording his 34th career hat trick, setting an NHL record by doing so against 21 different franchises, passing Brett Hull. He also became just the third player in NFL history to record multiple hat tricks at the age of 40 or older, joining Gordie Howe. And now he's one goal away from his 20th 30-goal season, which would extend his own NHL record. This man is 40 years old, simply unreal.
Rock, he is the LeBron James of the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
He really is. Look, Gretzky, nobody is going to catch his overall points record. It's impossible for Ovechkin to do that. However, Alex Ovechkin is nothing more than a one-time sniper. And you referenced the fact it was a one-timer at 93 miles an hour. At one time, his slap shot was up around 100.
Wow.
Yeah.
They showed that highlight the other night.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, wow. I mean, 4 years old. I'm like,
Yeah, it's like it's hard to get it in. You know, we want to talk puck once in a while.
Yeah.
We just can't.
I know.
It sucks.
and he still moves pretty damn
Oh,
good.
he does. Yeah,
He's still
he
moving
does.
around.
Yeah.
All right, D-backs home tonight. Chase, 7:10 first pitch on Arizona Sports. Michael Sirocco on the mound in a prove-it moment. Justin Verlander on the other side. The bullpen has been a disaster. Corbin Carroll has been cold. So will home field advantage change it all tonight? We're going to talk D-backs next. This is Roc and Manuch with Jamie B here on ESPN Radio Phoenix. We're on FM at 98.7 HD2 and on the Arizona Sports app.
Nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Whatever you're craving, we got it. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon pours, and top shelf spirits served over ice balls that hit just right. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails, yep, all here. And with 5 Valley locations. And don't forget the teeth-chattering 29-degree drafts we're famous for. Pair it all with scratch kitchen bites that actually satisfy. From shareables to hearty favorites. When it comes to happy hour, Twin Peaks doesn't play. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views.
Phoenix, if you need a plumber, call the team that does it the right way. Victory Plumbing Arizona. It's particular plumbing for particular people with upfront pricing before the work starts. So there's no surprises when the job's done. And here's a deal just for listeners. Tell them you heard Victory Plumbing on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, and they'll waive the service charge. For leaks, clogs, water heaters, or anything plumbing, book today at victoryplumbingarizona.com. ROC number 268603. Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country, with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com. Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Pros, just because something on the job runs out doesn't mean you have to. Order it on the Lowe's app. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members get free same-day delivery on eligible orders over $25. Get the fasteners, hardware, or tools you need to keep the job moving. Order by 2 p.m. and get eligible in-stock items delivered right to your job site by 8 p.m. Members get more at Lowe's. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Subject to availability restrictions and terms at lowes.com/shipping terms. Subject to change.
Harry Douglas here. Let me ask you something. What if you can enjoy the taste of a cocktail, the warmth of a spirit, and still stay fully in control? That's RK Zero Proof, a pioneer in the alcohol-free spirits category. RK delivers bold flavor and a real warming sensation with zero alcohol, zero sugar, zero carbs, and 0 calories. Perfect for nights out, social gatherings, or anytime you want the experience of a drink without sacrificing tomorrow. Check it out at rkbeverages.com. That's ARKAY beverages.com. RK, all the flavor, none of the alcohol.
Let's get back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B now on ESPN 620.
That is 3-2 pitch. Swinging a ground ball right side. Marte sliding over, has it from his knees, throws to first. Got him. Big time play by Ketel Marte. And there's one down to the bottom of the seventh.
Hey, before we get to D-backs on opening day, I finally got my first Bonneville.
Yep, there you go.
Coffee mug from Ryan Hatch, the boss. Wow.
You're big time now, Rock. Big
Squeaky
time.
will gets the oil.
You
Rock.
ask.
Yeah.
I mean, but it did take 2 hours.
It did.
To get.
Yeah.
I mean, why it took so long, I don't understand. It should not have taken this long. And it's a little one. It's like a little base. This is a Jimmy cup.
Yeah,
How
it
small
is.
this
Yeah.
is. It's like a 10-ouncer.
Yeah.
Jimmy coffee.
It's a Jimmy. It's Jimmy coffee.
You want me to trade? Because this one's probably a 12.
No, what's that say? It's an integrity thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's what
It's all about integrity, Jimmy B.
That's me.
Wow.
Yeah, I walk with
If he was
integrity.
really good, he would have my name engraved, you know.
Why are you complaining, man? You're lucky to get that.
What that's going to cost me. All right, let's talk about D-backs. I'm surprised he's even here because everybody else, all the brass here is.
I think that's
off
where
to
it was
D-backs,
running to.
You
You
know?
must have known we were coming in, Rock.
Yeah.
So I can think.
All right, let's talk about this D-back team. Let's go back first in Los Angeles, and let's get some sound from Torey Lovello. Here he is talking about some of the things that did go well. Of course, they were all losses, but you know they weren't blowouts, like the one-run games. But here he is talking about the winning lots of innings.
We did a really good job today. Yeah, of course, there's other things that I wish that we did and we can clean up. But overall, we won a lot of innings of baseball over the course of this 3-game series. Yet we're 0-3, so that's frustrating. It's very frustrating. But you know, the Dodgers are built this way. We know it. We knew it coming in, and we knew it would be that type of baseball game. But I was proud of the way we did a lot of things today. You're right.
I think that they're proud that they hung in there, and then you know he'll talk about the bullpen here in a second. But I think that here you are, you're outscored 16-8 in a 3-game series. They almost doubled you as far as scoring is concerned. But it really is. You watch this Dodgers team, but they just know how to turn it on at the right time. They know how to move runners over. But I think that the key is this runners in scoring position that this Diamondback team struggled with last year. Looks like they're struggling a little bit this year. Corbin Carroll's got maybe 2 hits. Ketel Marte just a couple hits. So the guy that's hitting the ball fairly well is, we talked about this beginning, Alec Thomas.
Yes.
He's hitting the ball very, very well and covering the outfield pretty good. So, you know, the slow start, you just hope it's not a slow start, and you just hope that this bullpen can come in and help out Eduardo Rodriguez's of the world, or the Zach Gallons of the world, or the Ryan Nelsons of the world.
I'll just say this: you can go get them a Happy Meal. I mean, they're 0-3. You can that'll cheer up the team. Look,
just because you go to McDonald's for Happy Meals, you really think D-backs are going to go to Happy Meals?
Why wouldn't they?
Dude, you're in paybacks. That was terrible.
No,
that's a bad day.
No, that's not a bad day. No, it is. No,
it's a bad
because
day.
what do? You take your little leaguer to go get a Happy Meal. Okay, that's the same deal. That's the same deal. That's what they're discussing right now. They're 0-3. Okay, take them, make them feel better. Go get a Happy Meal. Yeah.
You don't get anything in a Happy Meal.
That's what Manuch always says. Hey,
I had the big arch the other day. That was pretty good.
I was talking about supersizing.
Have you had the big arch?
I have.
It's really good.
I think I dated her.
It's really good.
The arch?
The big arch.
Yeah.
I'll have to
Jimmy, I was talking about supersizing it. I never talked the Happy Meal. I mean,
they don't supersize anymore, Manuch. Just
I know
you want to make the payback too?
No,
they don't
no,
do
no.
supersize
No, he
anymore.
was saying you always say, no, I talk about supersize. I never talk about Happy Meals. I'm just correcting Jimmy B.
Well, he should be correcting you because they don't do supersize anymore.
I know that. They
But
don't
you keep saying it.
I
So why
haven't
do you
used it in
keep saying
5
it?
years since they got rid of it. So I haven't used it.
I'm out of this
All right,
conversation.
One of the bright spots the other day was Erod. And here's Torey talking about taking him out after 79 pitches.
Yeah, he went out there and pitched. Did a really nice job. He wasn't reliable on one pitch, a fastball moving around the zone. He used all of his pitches, including a fastball that he moved around the zone. So he was extremely effective and did a really, really nice job. Yeah, maybe a batter or two longer in this outing, but I felt like right around the 80 pitch mark is where I was comfortable.
So are we back to pitch count stuff already? And it's the first of the season.
Seems
so
that
now
that's
it's
the norm.
See, if they hit 80
Analytics.
pitches, okay, you're done.
Analytics.
And I think, well, hey, he might go longer. He went 5 innings.
Yeah.
Zach Gallen couldn't get out of the 5th inning.
Right.
So with the way this bullpen is for now, he might have him go because he was looking strong. Ball was down, it was away.
Yeah.
I mean, so he, as far as that was concerned, I thought he looked pretty good. And maybe they just felt, well, it's early in the season. They've had 5 weeks of spring training.
Exactly.
I've never seen, and you hear a lot of these pundits talk about, well, they're going to ease them into the season. Ease them into the season. What about the guys of yesterday that played complete games from the get-go years ago that they came out of the season, the spring training, ready to go for 9 innings,
Well,
9 innings.
I'm not even going to go guys from yesteryear. I'm going to go World Baseball Classic. They're all playing. They're all playing
they had
in
good competition. They did.
Yeah. I mean,
Especially
he's ready. Yeah, he's ready to go. Come on.
All right, a little more cuts from Torrey. Of course, Chase Field tonight, hopefully as the equalizer, home crowd, home energy. There isn't a lot of buzz, as you and I talked about, Jimmy. It really isn't. But hopefully a reset button. Here's Torrey talking about going into this home opener at 0-3.
This is a tough series, no doubt about it. I did not think we would be coming home on 3, but we are. We've got to understand why it happened, accept why it happened, get better, and get ready for a very, very spirited Monday, opening day, and our crowd will be waiting for us. We can't wait to come home.
Well, I don't blame them. I mean, I'd be happy as hell to be playing tonight, too, in front of 45,000 people. And I hope that they do indeed are close to a sellout. Although I think Connor checked and there were lots of tickets still available. So if you're interested, you can get them. I don't know if the 0-3 made it so there was juiceless as far as this opening day. I mean, you're playing the best team that money can buy. You're playing the 2-time defending champion, Los Angeles Dodgers, on their home field. Now, if you would have lost to somebody else, like, let's say, the Marlins, and you were 0-3 playing at the Marlins, then I could understand why people would maybe turn away saying, oh, they're going to be lousy. But you lost to the Dodgers. I mean, everybody is going to lose to the Dodgers this year because they're that good.
And the thing with that, we talk about lack of scoring runs.
Yeah.
The Dodgers, they scored almost 5 per game. When you look at they scored in the 16 runs. But, if they can get that turned around.
Oh, yeah.
You got some tough pitching coming in from Detroit.
Yep.
You got Verlander and Mize and Schoolball's going to be throwing on Wednesday versus Zach Gallen. So I think the key for this Diamondback team is just try to get in your groove as far as hitting is concerned. And then you have to be really, really, I think, suspect or analytical as far as who you throw against the bullpen for this Detroit Tigers team.
I don't understand. I worked in baseball a long time.
Yep.
I don't understand how it's so difficult to find a 7th, 8th inning, even 9th inning guy. 9th inning, you always find these closers, right? Why wouldn't you just treat a closer, come up with some different name for him, and he goes in for just the 7th inning, and then the next guy goes in for just the 8th.
Oh, okay.
And you pitch like hell, like you do as a closer. I just don't get it. How these guys you haven't seen him yet. In most cases, you're not seeing this guy. Mm-hmm. You see the other guy 2-3 times as starter,
right?
But you bring in a guy in the 7th inning, all he has to do is get 3 outs. It's all he has to do. Why is it that it seems to be such a difficult part of this sport to get those guys in there to 7th and 8th
I think
inning?
they're over analytical about who the matchups are, Rock. Who's coming up to bat.
I'm with you. A guy that's just throwing the heat.
Yeah, man.
And just get these guys in and out.
I mean,
this wasn't an issue years and years ago.
No, it wasn't.
In the 70s and 80s, you never heard about, starters went 7, 8, 9 innings.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Well, you didn't have as many analytics involved, which I think is kind of muddy the waters. And I think, too, okay, the 7th inning, if they have this, and this, we're throwing this guy. 8th inning, we just need him to just hold.
It's like everything's so computerized. It's like, what do you even need a manager for? All right, if the situation's like this, they can use AI. Just press this button and boom, okay, you got to bring this guy in.
And if it's the 5th inning and the guy's throwing a hell of a game, Erod, what's 3 more outs?
He's on to 79 pitch count.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
What's the difference then between 79 and 85 or 86 pitches.
You just got to hope, and a lot of times it doesn't. You just got to hope that it doesn't come back, that these early parts of the season don't come back to haunt you the backside of the season.
Yes.
When you look at some of this.
You get so far behind that you can't
so far behind. And I think that those are some of the things. You look at the Diamondbacks last year, what we said, they had to beat teams on average 7-6. Their hitting had to come forward because of their bullpen, because of all the runs they were giving up last year. And that's hard to sustain. If you're going to average 5-6 runs per game, look at this. They only averaged they got outscored, 16-8 in the series versus the LA Dodgers. So, again, you're giving up 5 per game, and you're basically scoring 3, if that, not even 3 games per game. So hopefully they can bust out the bats to help their bullpen.
But it goes back to Rock's point, which was, why don't you just have a pitcher throw the 7th, a pitcher throw the 8th, and a pitcher throw the 9th?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I'm serious.
I get it. I know that you are.
I mean, it's all you have to do, and you're appearing 30, 40 games a year. I mean, come on.
When's the last
Go
time?
all out.
Think about this. When's the last time you saw 4 or 5 different relievers in a game on average every day? That's like the norm nowadays. It's like, if my starter is in a groove and he gets close to 100, okay. If it's like the 7th, 8th inning, then who are guys coming up I have to face in that 8th and 9th inning?
Right.
And if you're Mariano Rivera or Diaz that comes in, you're going to go
why
back-to-back
can't
games.
be that the 7th? Why can't Dak Diaz be there at that level?
Right.
Be the 7th inning guy.
And the way that bullpen's built.
And if he's not the 7th inning guy, he's the 8th inning guy. But you still have your closer.
Yep.
Maybe maybe it's a 7 or 8 guy. It's a 7-8 guy.
Well,
Diaz
is
either one.
He's definitely the closer.
Oh, he is there.
Now. I see what you're saying. Why can't you mix it up? Well,
I
Troy
don't
may
know.
have to mix it up.
We can't reinvent the game. But
No.
this isn't working.
No, I get you.
Metrics have affected the game.
They have. Yeah.
Totally have.
Yeah. Diaz, by the way, only had last year with the Mets 3 blown saves.
That's it.
3.
It's all about the trumpet. Who's playing the trumpet
Yeah, that's
on
it.
his entryway?
Jimmy Trumpet.
It's pretty badass. the
Yeah,
trumpet.
it is.
Good.
It is.
That was
All
fun.
right. We all know Arizona is heading to the Final Four for the first time in 25 years. Mike Adras will break down the Final Four, the Cats, and his national champion pick. Don't go anywhere. But first, here's Laz with another ESPN Radio 620 Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The Arizona Diamondbacks home opener is tonight at Chase Field as they welcome the Detroit Tigers to town for the start of a 3-game set. Michael Soroka takes the mound for Arizona, while Justin Verlander makes his return to Detroit and will get the ball for the Tigers. The first pitch is set for 7:10 with pregame coverage beginning at 6:30 on 98.7 FM and streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. On the hardwood, the Phoenix Suns head to Memphis to take on the shorthanded Memphis Grizzlies. Tip-off for that one is at 5, with pregame coverage starting in just about 30 minutes right here on ESPN 620 AM and also streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. Here's your perfect national championship plan. Get to DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale early and catch us live from 1 to 4 p.m. Then don't move because the Natty kicks off right after. One great spot, one great day. We will see you there at DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale.
We get it. A meal shouldn't cost you nearly $20. And we agree. At Venezia's Pizzeria, lunch or dinner for under $10 is still a thing. And for an even sweeter deal, stop in and grab a Slice Rewards card. Get a stamp for every qualifying Slice special. 10 visits, 1 free qualifying special. Simple. And every Tuesday, we double your stamps. That's your free pizza twice as fast. Venezia's Pizzeria, a family tradition with great rewards.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Learn and Rowe, and we've been serving Arizona's for 20 years. Make the best choice during an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Learn and Rowe is the way to go. On 977-1900. 977-1900.
The road to the championship ends Monday, April 6th, and the place to watch it is DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale with Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B on ESPN 620. Join us from 1 till 4 p.m. as we break down the matchup, the betting angles, and everything you need before tip-off of the big championship game. Cold drinks, big screens, and the best sports crowd in the Valley. Come hang with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live Monday at DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale. The championship game deserves a championship setting.
Rock for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
Have you ever been to Rodizio Grill? Let me tempt you. Start your Rodizio experience with our hot, unlimited appetizers. Indulge on our award-winning gourmet salad bar with over 35 items. Then, 16 delicious, sizzling, rotisserie grilled meats and grilled items like our tender top sirloin and Rodizio's signature glazed pineapple, as much as you'd like.
Rodizio Grill, the Brazilian steakhouse.
Located in Mesa, North Scottsdale.
Hi, I'm Johnny Erickson Tata, and our Johnny and Friends Arizona team invites you to our first pickleball tournament called Rally for Hope. It's more than just a day on the court. It's a chance to provide practical help and gospel hope to weary families that live with a disability. So join us at Center Court in Glendale, May the 2nd from 11 to 5 p.m. Come play or cheer on the teams. Visit johnnyandfriends.org/Arizona for details.
Let's get back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B now on ESPN 620.
You put yourself back in this game. You got to get stops on this end here.
Freshman at Arizona, carried Arizona to the Final Four. Joining us now, Coach Mike Adras joins us now on the Right Toyota guest side. How are we doing today, Coach? What's happening?
Doing fantastic, guys. Great to hear your voices, and look forward to talking some hoops.
So who's the best coach left in this tournament?
Ooh, that's a great question,
Thank
right?
Right out of the game. My best stuff. That's the best I got. So let's make it good.
All right. Well, I got to go with the guy that's already won 2 national championships, right? I think it's early if I have to answer that question, although I think you got 4 really good minds that are going to be roaming the sidelines there in Indianapolis. I think Brad Underwood is very underrated as a head coach, and certainly Michigan and Arizona are led by 2 very, very good coaches. Lloyd and May are very good.
Yeah, you got Brad Underwood, that K-State education there, Coach, learning under Jack Hartman and Lon Kruger. Come on, Coach, give the Cats some love there.
Oh, I forgot the K-State connection. Well, now I got to answer the question that way, okay?
No,
Brad Underwood's the best coach remaining in the tournament.
He's been around. He's been around a long time, Coach. Deserved. It's interesting. You and I were texting about size matters with this Illinois team. All the Balkans that are the itch, this itch, Stojakovic, Isevich, that itch, this itch. I got to tell you, Coach, that is a big, strong team, but the speed a little lacking with that Illinois Fighting Illini team.
Oh, I like that team a lot. I looked something up earlier today. I went back to the net rankings, right, which is what the NCAA uses to compare teams with one another, and teams get ranked based on wins and losses, home wins, road wins, neutral court wins, who they're playing, et cetera, et cetera. And I was shocked to see Illinois on March 12th was the 5th highest ranked team. I mean, the 4 above them were the 4 number 1. Okay, so as far as net rankings, Illinois was the next best team outside the 4 number 1s. And they have played like it. I mean, they control the inside. You don't get many second chance opportunities against them. Keaton Wagler has just played phenomenal in this tournament. And, yeah, like you mentioned, the Itch brothers, doing the Balkan dance all over the court. And they're a good team. I actually think they're going to win Saturday, believe it or not. I can't believe I'm going to say that here on Monday and give me the opportunity to change my mind as the week goes on. But that Illinois team is very, very good and deserving to be at the Final Four.
Coach, my question is about coaching. And the old axiom is players win, coaches lose. So now with what took place for Duke, John Shire, the head basketball coach, told his guys, secure the basketball. It didn't happen. So now you have losers online saying that he should be fired. As a former coach, how many times have you preached in the huddle, if you can remember, secure the basketball, take the foul, and then the kid panics and you get what we saw with Duke and UConn?
100%. It's unfair to throw blame anywhere, right? I mean, an 18-year-old, 19-year-old boozer looks up the floor, sees two guys wide open, nobody wearing the opposing journey there, and he tries to throw a hook pass instead of, you learn, you work against presses, being double teamed, being strong with the ball, don't make careless passes, and yet both boozers made careless plays. Cam Boozer, fumbled the ball on the inbound, gave it up right away back to the inbounder instead of holding on to it and getting fouled. Okay, I don't want to be that guy that's got to walk down there and make these 2 free throws right now. And, he did the right thing. He gave up the ball. The kid that inbounded the ball, got it and saw the younger boozer right there wide open, made a great pass. The clock is ticking, right? That's the other thing you're thinking. As long as we keep the ball moving, the clock runs out on these guys. And then that young boozer just, thought he was going to be able to make the play that ends the game. And, now everybody second guesses he should have just held the ball and got fouled. Well, yeah, that's nice. But when you're in that pressure moment, it's not as simple as that. And you can practice that as many times as you can during the course of the season, which I'm sure they've done. And Shire explained things. Every coach in the tournament is questioning. I mean, Dusty May's questioning some of the plays that his guys made in the first half of the game, and you're like, we just talked about this in the timeout. I can't tell you how many times I said that, I mean, you think you've explained it to everybody, and Nebraska couldn't even get 5 guys on the court, guys, I mean, so it's that's the beauty of it, I guess, because, these are not yet quite professional, although some of them are professional, especially a lot of these European guys played professionally back home and stuff, but they're still young age human beings, and we all make mistakes, and under pressure situations, you think you see one thing, and then all of a sudden everything changes right in front of you. It was an amazing ending to a really okay game. I mean, it was like, is UConn going to get back in this? That's what I'm sure everybody was wondering, and they slowly got back. How about the three-pointer Caravan hits? I mean, they ran that play for him to shoot that shot, okay? That was after a timeout. And here's a guy, what is he, 5th, 6th, 7th year playing college basketball now?
Give or take, Coach. Give or take.
Sure. Yeah. And yet, he's struggling, hasn't made a shot, he's got one layup on a great pass by Reed, is his only points in the game, and yet you're running the play for him, and he delivers a big 3. Like, that was just incredible. the trust of a coach and a player. And I think that's the beauty about Danny Hurley, right? He's got great trust in his players. You think he's yelling at them during the game, and he does, but he has demonstrated to those young men that he believes in that team, and that's so important to the keys, their success. Look at Mullen. He didn't hit a shot either.
No, you're right. He was over, Coach. He was over. Watching Michigan play, Coach, did they go to another gear the other day?
Yeah, absolutely. And it just shows you how good they are. And they've played that way really all year long, right? And you're not going to play your best for 40 minutes. And that's basketball, right? It ebbs and flows, and teams go on runs, and can you sustain when your opponent does? And yet that Michigan team just keeps coming. And then when they lock in, holy cow, right? I mean, that was amazing the way they just turned it on and took off. And it's a team that's been able to do that really all year long. And I'm really concerned for Arizona, even though I picked Arizona at the beginning of the tournament to win this. And I'm probably saying something that you've already mentioned previously on the show, or you will this week. Everyone's thinking the Michigan-Arizona game is really the national championship game. I'm not going to say that, but those two teams, they match up well with each other. I'm looking forward to that second game come Saturday, right? We're going to warm up with that Illinois-Connecticut game, but we're really looking forward to that Michigan-Arizona game, because those two teams, I feel, have demonstrated since the beginning of the season they're the two best teams in college basketball. Duke, yeah, they earned the number one because of a late Michigan loss or a late Arizona loss. And let's be honest, the ACC was terribly weak again this year, and they demonstrated that in the tournament. So, it kind of puts a Duke in a little bit more perspective. But they were hot at the right time and rightfully deserved the overall number one.
All right, Coach. When, in your estimation, because we saw the NBA going from what everybody likes to call small ball and not really using 7-footers anymore in the pivot, and then it changed, and now college basketball was in a similar situation. And when you look at the teams that are playing, they all got 7-foot guys. And not only one, each team has a couple of them. So when did it change, in your estimation, in college basketball to going back to the big man?
Well, I think a lot of it is the foreign influence, right? A lot of these 7-footers and tall kids are foreign kids. And, the NIL money is now drawing them in rather than playing professionally in their home country or whatever. And so now you're getting that size factor. And those European kids, they train differently than we used to train kids here in the United States. We're getting better at it, I think, and in teaching our big guys how to handle the ball, how to shoot the ball from the perimeter and stuff like that. Certainly Reed for Connecticut's not going to step out and shoot threes, that kind of deal. But he's a load inside, and each of these teams, you're right, has a true power game if they need to, go to that and not rely on threes. Although they all shoot the three so well too, right? So I mean, you're looking at teams that can score inside, score outside, and although I do think this weekend's going to come down to how the team that can be most effective around the basket will win ball games, because if you make the defenses now worry about, defending close to the basket, now it just opens up the 3-point land even more so.
Mike, it's going to be a fun week. It's going to go pretty quick, so we look forward to catching up with you later in the week, and we'll talk about this Final Four in depth, and then have some fun and get some predictions. So we'll have you hold off on your predictions right now, but we'll get it at the end of the week.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to getting myself all ready for this coming weekend. It's going to be truly a great Final Four, I believe.
Can't wait. That's Mike Adras joining us. Always love having him on. He is our insider talking the madness, and we appreciate his time today. And Mike's today presented by All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company. They're hiring drivers, dispatchers, customer service pros. They got great pay, benefits, all the good stuff. Monthly fuel allowance included. You can apply today at allcitytowing.com. That's All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward. All right. We have the UConn call. This is a great job, CC. You know what sucks? You notice when people leave?
Their game picks up.
The game picks up.
Yeah.
So this is all we're going to remember CC is, but damn, he got the Duke call and he got the UConn call of the game winner.
Sure, he put music under one of our.
Yeah, he did the deal with Gary Woodland. I mean,
it's
very
nice.
Sucks. It's
kind of like the
you better be taking freaking notes, buddy.
It's like the
big shoes. He's got a size 14, right? What size are your feet there, big fella?
Yeah, you were spot on.
14? Yeah, I knew all offensive linemen are more than 12, right?
Like the light bulb gets brightest before it burns
All right,
out.
Learning Red One
What's that
calls
say
next.
about guys
All right,
with big feet?
No, see, I tried to get out of break fast enough, and you effed it up. You did. Goodbye, Jimmy. You're done.
Now open in North Scottsdale. It's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs. Right off Thompson Peak and Bell. Next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club. A one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills. Just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
Another Arizona storm season's rolling through. Before the next big downpour hits, call State 48 Roofing for your free roof inspection. Whether it's cracked tiles, flat roofs, or old shingles, don't wait for leaks to show up. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer, trusted for over a decade in both residential and commercial roofing. Protect your home, protect your business with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509 today.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
Thinking about starting weight loss treatment? GoodRx is here to help. We offer FDA-approved GLP-1 medications prescribed by licensed providers, including the Wegovy tablet, with straightforward pricing and pickup at your local pharmacy or delivery to your door. All from America's #1 prescription app. Go to goodrx.com/weight loss to get started. GoodRx is not insurance. Cancel anytime. #1 prescription app ranked by a third-party study.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all call of the day. If you're looking for a full service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
He runs the baseline. He gets it into Cameron Boozer. They double him. Back to Sarr. Now ahead to Caden Boozer. And a steal. Mullins gets it. It's Paraban to Mullins, long range three. Oh, it went in. Mullins delivers. Bedlam here. They're going to go to the monitor to review it. Absolute bedlam as Mullins threw a 45-footer in.
There you have it, Duke and UConn. How about that? Good stuff there.
Awesome.
You're learning a row. One call, that's all. In a wreck, need a check, make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. And always at learnerarow.com. All right, here's what's on tap, sponsored by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light, the official partner of Roc and Manuch and GBB's March Mania coverage and April, as we head into April. Coming up in just a few minutes, I got some Suns pregame with Mitch as the Suns and Grizzlies will tip off here on ESPN 620 and 98.7 FM HD2 at 5 o'clock. As D-backs home opener, the Tigers will be on the mothership at 7:10. So I know they got a bunch of pregame going there. Tomorrow, we'll have the D-backs tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So tomorrow will be Suns Magic on the mothership at 98.7 at 4. And then we will have game 2 between the Tigers and the D-backs at 6:40 here on ESPN, 6:20 a.m. and 98.7 FM HD2.
Roc, I'm surprised that we get done here. You're not headed to the baseball game because you're a big event guy.